to recognize. I can't let no regrets come and eat me up alive. I cannot afford to fall again, I'm too high. I can never cross my heart and not expect to die. If I'm brutally honest, I still keep you in the dark. Don't just think that cause you know me that you all up in the
happening?
I don't
We
feel
back.
no pain, I don't got
Brand new
nothing to
episode
show.
of Three from the Ring podcast. I know it's been a minute, but we needed a break, and plus free agency is a lot to go on right now. But as you can see, we are here. We are video live, so shout out to the YouTube niggas. You know what it is. Subscribe, like, all that good shit, because I'm literally just do it. But also more pluggers. You Tweaking Media merch is available on Teespring. Make sure you get that 30% off now until Sunday, December 6th. 30% off until December 6th, 2020. You get 30% off on merch. And that's for literally because of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Small Business Saturday, all of that shit. We trying to get this bread, and we're trying to give you guys deals. So it's that season. It's the holiday. It's the holiday of giving. Get somebody some You Tweaking Media merch on the real. But it is, of course, it's your boy Chris J. Glad to be back. Got the boy Trell Sav on here.
Yep.
And we got Tyler on here. Unfortunately, you can't see him because life be that way. But one day you niggas will see that the fact that he's an albino half breed. But glad to have you on here though, bro.
I'm glad to be back. What's up, everybody?
All right, cool.
Finally made it through December.
And look, man, this year going by too damn fast. But let's go ahead and get into the NBA teams. And yeah, I know we gotta go over free agency. We gotta go over a few other things. But right before we started, literally like an hour ago, the NBA has released the Christmas schedule. And I was wondering because they haven't even released a schedule yet, and these niggas about to start training camp. I think today, some teams started training camp. So literally, the fact that we are finally getting the schedule just shows how much the league is trying to battle COVID right now. So it'd be that way sometimes. So we'll see where things go in regards to that. But let's go ahead and look at these holiday games for the great season. I mean, the great day of Christmas, because the league technically starts on December 23rd. So let's go ahead. Opening game for Christmas is Pelicans versus Heat. So shout out to Zion versus Jimmy Butler. Thoughts?
I don't like that.
I actually forgot that the reason the Pelicans are even on that Christmas game is because of Zion, but I still don't really like the game. They could have still did something else, in my opinion.
I don't like the fact that, yes, the Zion effect is real. I agree with that. But I do think a couple of teams kind of got snubbed. And since, like, NBA really thinking the Rockets about to offload James Harden and Russell Westbrook because they not on there, that's one. That's probably it. The Raptors not on there, right? The Raptors could have been on there.
Yeah, the Raptors. No.
That's weird. They always should be a team that's always going to be in the light. That's really much it. The Warriors shouldn't be on it either. I'm sorry. Nobody about to watch Steph and Kelly play ball, G. Just the way it is, bro.
Bro,
Nobody,
come on, G. Steph Curry, he's the most marketable nigga he's one of the most marketable niggas in the league.
Huh?
Going against the
How many
Bucks.
game you watched last year?
He's going against the Bucks.
Game you watched last year?
I watched the first few games when he was getting dominated. That was fun to see because you know I'm team F Steph Curry forever. So come on.
And what's the difference between this year and last year?
Steph Curry's healthy. You somewhat have a better squad, G. You somewhat have a better squad. A better squad. Okay, look, G. G. You go into this last year. Let's see. They starting lineup was probably what? Kevin Looney, Draymond. I don't even know who the hell the small forward was. I don't even know who the shooting guard was, and Steph. This year you going in with Steph, Wiggins, Oubre, Draymond, and James Wiseman. That's a way better starting lineup. Way better. I'm not gonna sit there and say like literally. By the way, Warriors Revenge Tour canceled. I'm letting niggas know now. I'm looking at the camera right now. Canceled. But G, that's still
No.
G. It's still gonna be a fun team to watch. It's still Steph Curry, G. It's still Steph.
Look, look, I will say this. The reason don't say cancel this goddamn tour, because the Warriors trying to start this We Believe stuff. And I'm completely sorry. Ain't no We Believe this season. Now, if y'all be an 8th seed, 6th seed, cool. You're not making it out the first round.
I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at it.
So,
But plus, they gotta do what they gotta do so they can sell tickets too. So I'm not mad if they're
I
trying
don't
to.
think they're going to have. I don't
believe.
think the Warriors one of the teams having fans.
They not.
I don't.
the only
think
team
so.
that should have fans is that should have fans on legit opening night is probably the Lakers. So
And they said they're not. Their governor is not playing. They're not playing.
Oh yeah, California get locked down more than Chicago
Exactly.
do, bro. They don't play out there.
Yeah.
And you want to know the funny thing about that? Not to get political, but they get locked down the most, and they still a COVID hotspot, bro. And they are locked down the freaking most,
They are.
and they still a hotspot.
Yeah,
It's so
restricted,
wild, bro. This joint, a real nigga. Okay, COVID not playing with y'all.
Exactly.
But
it doesn't help also that niggas go to Cali knowing that it's shut down. Like niggas I know who live over there, they sit there and say, "Why do y'all come here? It's nothing to do."
hold on. Speaking of little COVID stuff, did y'all see that video of what's Will Chamberlain's son that's in the league?
Will Chamberlain has a son?
He has a son in the league.
Yeah,
I'm
he used to play
pretty
for the
sure he
Wizards.
has kids.
Oh, Otto
He used to play for the
Porter.
Wizards.
Oh, Otto Porter.
yeah.
Oh.
I forgot we called him the son of Will
Y'all
Chamberlain.
seen that video of him pouring?
Yo.
They say he was pouring Costco white women mouths, bro.
G, that man was
Yeah, we saw that
wild, G.
at
We was
work
gonna
today.
talk about that later, G. That's why I like. He was gonna talk about that
Bullshit.
later, but
Yeah,
that boy
get
was
back.
wild. That man was wild. He was wild. We'll talk about that later. But still, I ain't mad at the fact the Warriors is on there. Plus, they're against the Bucks. They're against the Bucks, so it works.
Look, this is my thinking, bro. This was my thinking. I guess they was thinking, like, damn, the Warriors would have made the move to get Giannis back off season. Then you would have had him go the revenge tour against the Bucks. Cause look at like Dallas and Lakers is just, let's show two of the best teams in the East. I mean in the West go at it, right? Two of the most excited teams. AD versus Porzingis.
Porzingis is out for the first month.
Okay, AD versus Dwight Powell and Luka versus Bron. You see that? You
Oh, another team that's not up there is Philly.
What?
Philly could have been up there.
oh. Hey, Tyler Spittin, bro. Where Philly at?
Yeah, Philly. Yeah, I say Philly should be on there. I ain't lying. Philly should be on there. And I love Philly.
Like-
If you listen to this podcast, you know I love Philly. So they should be
Philly
on there.
versus the Heat. Philly versus the Heat got more story than the Pelicans.
They do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that guy Jimmy used to be at Philly. Joel want to play for Miami. That story there, bro.
There's storylines you can play with and storylines. But yeah.
But I think the best game is literally gonna be, I think the Lakers steamroll Mavericks. Nets and Celtics gonna fucking slap because both of them teams have a bench.
That's 1 or 2. That's 1 and 2 of the. That's 1 and 2 of the East, regardless. But that's going to be a fun ass game. Because I want to see Jason
That's 2 in the
Tatum.
East? I don't think so. I don't think the Nets 2 in the East. The reason I think the Nets go to the Eastern Conference Finals, I don't think they 2 in the East. I think talent takes them to the Eastern Conference Finals.
No,
But
you're
as in
right.
just a
I still
legit-
got to give the Bucks their credit. The Bucks still. I'm gonna give the Bucks that
I don't
credit.
think as a basketball team, Bucks gonna have chemistry. Plus, they added pieces that
That fit.
replaced. Like you added Drew Holiday to replace Eric Bledsoe. Drew Holiday is a better Eric Bledsoe without the pseudo athleticism, right? You got the Bucks who gonna have that chemistry. The Heat who gonna probably be number 1 seed. If they coast, they probably will gonna be 3-4. Celtics, always Celtics. Raptors are always gonna be there. So yeah, I don't think the Nets don't have chemistry issues, bro. That's just where it's gonna go. Mm-hmm. These are two ball dominant figures. When people think that people believe in that plug-in nature of basketball, that you can just plug this person in and it automatically works out. That is true for like 3 players, bro. And I'm not taking out one of them players. I'm saying Kyrie not. In which you can just plug in Kyrie with KD and it works automatically. Now I'm not saying they're gonna be a bad team. I'm just saying ISO ball ain't gonna be ISO balling like that, bro. And then they try to have to have the 3-way ISO ball. Like that's not gonna work out. I don't. Heck, it is the only team that has stacked the deck and successfully won without any trouble was that Warriors and KD team, right? Only team that won without trouble. Every other team after that, and kind of before that, and he got humbled. The freaking when Boston, when the Brooklyn Nets tried to get that old ass stacked the deck.
That don't count. Them niggas was washed. The Celtics knew what they was doing with that trade, regardless.
Out of town, bro. Folks sold the team after that season. They said he made the biggest mistake of his life. But like every team, when you try to get Russell Westbrook for the Rockets, when you Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, when you try to make these Omega super teams just thinking we put one great player here and one great player there and it's gonna work out, you about to hold that L. It's not Kyrie had a young squad when he was the primary ball handler. And they got humbled every time they walked into the playoffs, bro. What they only had 2 years with each other?
They never made the playoffs. They were close one year. They never made the playoffs. They were close 1 year before LeBron. The year before LeBron got there, they were fighting for the seat.
I'm talking about Kyrie with the Celtics.
I'm thinking like, wait, what? Oh, well, the 1 year that he made the playoffs with them, the second year
they got what?
They got slapped up by Giannis.
And that was the only time Giannis was what? Actually, probably mopping niggas out of the second round. So my thing is, right, having KD and Kyrie on that same exact team is not gonna. Remember, this is the first few games. This ain't how it usually is when it comes to these Christmas games. The chemistry working out better and stuff like that. This like the third or fourth game.
Second, probably some teams first, depending. Might be their first or second game.
And you need to tell me KD and Kyrie gonna mesh together like that? Once you gotta get KD the ball too to develop him throughout the season. Joe Harris gotta get some of them touches. Larry Shamet gotta get some of them touches. Hell in the beginning. Come February, March, they're gonna be all right. But in the beginning, we gonna have them conversations.
So you're saying
is this the right team? Is this the
so it's not like you're just saying the Celtics winning that game.
Yes. Hell yeah.
All right.
If it makes a difference just specifically for that game, they said Kemba's not playing, I think, the first month of the season because he got stem cell.
They play better without Kemba. They play better without Kemba. So.
Hey, well, if that was the difference maker.
Marcus Smart about to get carried them pit pats. Them things. KD, look, I'm going to give you this right now. KD and Jason Tatum will have a war.
That's going to be fun to see.
He's going to come out and look like KD. It's about everybody else around him. You can't rely on the old DeAndre Jordan.
I hope Jared Allen's starting at this point. I hope they experiment.
Jared Allen probably just stand there. Jared Allen's going to be like that 150 you got on the Molly that come off the bench, and you don't even specifically there to get blocks. You are particularly there just to get blocks.
Which is disrespectful to Jared Allen because he's way better than DeAndre Jordan to me. What does DeAndre Jordan do right now? I don't even know why he's there, G.
It's weird, bro. It's one of them weird situations. But I give you Jason Tatum stats right now. 32, 8, 5, 2 blocks.
Damn,
write that shit down.
You saying he gonna block? Ooh.
Yeah, I'm saying he get a block from KD.
Let me write that down. I'm writing that down.
Or something. 32, 8, and 5. Jaylen Brown gonna have 19, 5, and probably 19, 5, and 5. He gonna have a quality my career rookie game. I don't care about nobody else. KD on the other end, folks gonna have like 38, 12. It's like
Well,
probably six.
if KD comes off the Achilles dropping 38, it's a problem. I think the league should be
You think
scared.
he not putting on KD dropping 38?
He could, but I'm just saying if he do, if he comes off the Achilles and drops 38,
Yeah, that's
what?
gonna
That's
be something to talk
if
about.
anything, that says
Whether
more
they
about how
lose or
good the
not.
Nets might be. Because literally, it's like KD coming back, ain't nothing wrong. Just throwing that out there. Like if KD comes out, like I ain't even gonna say he's gonna be a scrub. Look, it could be like literally. I don't think you don't watch Hoops and Brews or listen to him. Gee, TPJ thinks KD's about to average 21 this season.
Yeah, I don't think that's that bad to say. I think 21 when you have Kyrie on your team is actually.
Look, if Kyrie's the leading scorer of that team's a first round exit. Keeping G real. If Kyrie is the leading scorer of the Brooklyn Nets this season, and KD is there, and unless KD literally just sits there and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take days off." Okay, cool. Be my guest. Okay, then I
That's
wouldn't be
actually
mad.
statistically, that's not a bad take because any team that Kyrie has led the team in scoring in didn't make the playoffs or just wasn't good in the playoffs.
Or first round exit. Well, first round exit. So I'm just saying, if Kyrie is the primary scorer of the Brooklyn Nets, first round exit. Just throwing that out there. But I did write down Tatum's stat line because I think if he does that, I'm throwing him in for potential MVP race. Especially the 2 blocks. The 2 blocks is the one that's really gonna pique my interest. But let's move on to Lakers and Mavericks. Like you said, Daytra, you in the text, you said, "Hey, they finally said LeBron is going against a rival." But this goes with my agenda that the league wants to give the league to Luka. It's the Luka agenda. The Luka agenda is on the way because you don't just sit there and say he more than likely he could win MVP this year. But
he is the next MVP. He's slated to be the next MVP. It's between 2 niggas, bro. Right now, LeBron will always be in contention, but the last 2 seasons showed that Bron is. I mean, not the last 2. This one and the year before when he took that Cavs team to the finals. Them 2 seasons shows that LeBron James never touched another MVP. That's just fact. It's between Anthony fucking Davis and Luka. You got the old saying that you give for Anthony Davis, you get he didn't win it this year, so we give it to him the next year. Like that happens with every fucking MVP person ever, right?
Yeah.
Because the only reason people was trying to give it to Bron was because like leadership and taking his team, but Anthony Davis in the regular season was low key the better Laker.
Easily.
Right. He legit, just with his presence on that court, legit won them basketball games. Luka, on the other hand, will put up wild fucking stats this whole entire short season. So he ain't got a long season, so his stats just flush out and space out. This nigga about to average 30-something, bro. In his short season, he about to average 30-something.
I think he can average a triple-double.
Last guy in there, throw Devin Booker in there because he's going to be in playoff contention, so his numbers is going to get elevated. But which is another team who probably, I don't even know when the last time the Phoenix Suns had a Christmas game. Amari Stoudemire probably on that team, bro.
Probably since Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire. So a good minute.
You had them go against.
I think it depends. I don't know when they had the schedule done. So depending on when they had the schedule done, that dictates whether or not. Because I don't think they knew the Suns were getting. The Suns were getting Chris Paul. Probably.
You right.
So that probably played.
The Blazers got snubbed too, but
but the Blazers each time. The thing is, the Blazers and Nuggets is like a Christmas staple. I feel like they play so much on Christmas, so it's like they're like give it a rest. And the Nuggets is the more fun team and marketable team right now. Even though
people thinking that the Lakers gonna be the 1 seed, I'll give it to the Nuggets, bro. They got a chip on their shoulder. What the fuck do they got to lose?
They really don't.
They just get RJ Hampton. They got another rookie with an upside who didn't get fucking really drafted, bro. Like,
oh yeah. I get him and the dude they got the point guard the Pistons drafted and RJ Hampton mixed up because they look alike to me. So both light skinned niggas. So that's how like Oh yeah, they did RJ, and then Bobo looked like he's on the main starting 12. So, hey, look, man, I believe Bobo is gonna be a big help for that team. A big help because they don't really have defense, and all he got to do is just stand in front of niggas and just extend his arm. He's a walking contest. So hey, like I want.
He's also a walking fucking injury.
I hope not. That's why I hope that man. I really hope the Nuggets put Bobo on a weightlifting program. Like we just need you to bulk up, my nigga. We ain't telling you get like goddamn be big like goddamn Ben Simmons.
You gotta
big.
be joking big, but
be like KD, be KD big or something like that. Where it's just like you still pretty. Like, you still got your athleticism, you still got your agility and stuff, but we just need to make sure you're not about to get... If AD decide to put his shoulder in your goddamn chest, you're not about to walk away with a collapsed lung. So, that's the main thing. But I believe I ain't mad at the Nuggets being number one, and just seeing the fact that the Clippers and Nuggets being the final game is hilarious. I believe the Nuggets should win that game as well. So...
Give it to the Clippers.
It depends.
Regular season team. Regular season team, bro.
Because even when I look at that team, nothing they have tells me. Go ahead. No.
I wouldn't be shocked if the Nuggets win because that Clippers team is low key kind of depleted. With Montrez gone, huge help. Lou Will pick and roll, unstoppable. But that put the ball in Kawhi and Paul George's hands even more.
My problem is who's the point guard?
Nobody on the bench who they can pass it to or give it to.
Ibaka, technically. He's the big body. Literally, like, that's the body now. Like, yeah. Like, Lou Will gonna pretty much go back to being Lou Will at this point. But, and Luke Kennard.
Get traded.
He gonna be on Christmas.
I respect Luke Kennard. I had to play with him in 2K19. I was on that Pistons team. Me, Drummond, and Luke Kennard took him to the chip. Got smacked by Clay a couple times, but it was fun. Clay dropped 38 every single game in that series. Sent me to God twice.
I never hear your frustration. That frustration was different, G. That was a different frustration I heard. But still, I get what
Andre Drummond lobs did not help. Did not.
We'll get son. But Luke, I like what they kind of did with their bench, and it's my main thing is it's like more they did a addition by subtraction, like in the sense of they did what the Lakers did last year. They just need niggas to actually play roles. Luke Kennard knows his role. Be a hard-nosed white boy. Make your threes. Serge Ibaka, we just need you to hopefully limit Jokic, niggas like Jokic, AD, limit them and make important shots.
So you think Serge coming off the bench?
Either I don't know what they want to do with Zubac.
Bro, Zubac, your starting center/power forward, about to hurt.
Center.
It's about to hurt.
It's legit 17.
Now, I do peep that they know keep playing a little bit better with Zubac on the floor, but Montrez is out now. I think in that Nuggets.
The Nuggets series, literally, that was the problem. That was the problem. Even though Jokic was still giving Zubac the hands.
Montrez was getting smoked, but now he got Anthony Davis to take him.
That helps. That helps. It's like, hey.
But you got that. But in the regular season, Zubac being your primary center is about to hurt.
I don't think he's closing out games, though. I don't think he's closing out games. I think Ibaka gonna close out games most of the time.
What you gonna close out a 20-point deficit? Who the fuck is Zubac guarding?
Bro, it's not like he's about to. That's why Montrez is playing. Montrez came in, coming to
Montrez able Montrez, for every bucket Montrez got put on him, we can at least get one back. Zubac.
Yeah. But you saying it like, okay, what this was their big man rotation last year with the Clippers. Zubac starts games, nothing new. His sole purpose was, hey, grab our rebounds. Montrez comes in. Hey, bro, we need you to pick and roll with every goddamn nigga on the court and score. Literally. And Montrez is out there from what? The first half of the first quarter to the end of the second quarter most of the time. And then does it again. So it's not like, oh, I'm expecting Zubac to play heavy minutes.
Young, athletic guy who's gritty, grindy, if you want to say it, except on defense.
I think he might be a better defender with AD with him as well. So he might be a better defender.
Serge Ibaka.
And Serge Ibaka still does his job, but the difference is he just shoots threes instead of run pick and roll. He can still catch lobs every now and then. He's a way better defender. He's not gonna get cooked on the pick and roll.
Serge Ibaka.
I'm not saying it like Serge Ibaka is a huge upgrade, but you gotta look at it like this.
Serge Ibaka is one score total away from having the Lakers. Serge Ibaka is one score total away from the Los Angeles Clippers being the 7th seed. And niggas gonna be hurt, and then we gonna wonder why the hell Paul George is in Charlotte right now. We're gonna be wondering why Paul George is because they let my chest hell walk.
Gee, I would
and
cry.
They had to trade Paul George to Charlotte.
Gee, I would cry if they send that nigga to Charlotte mid-season. Gee, I'm like, what for what? If I'm Kawhi, I'm like, bro, I ain't playing another game. If I'm Kawhi, I'm not playing another damn game. I'm literally if I'm Kawhi, my Kawhi going to implode.
Smartest move in that reckless ass offseason, though, in which the Clippers and Kawhi low-key start the Lakers. But who won a chip anyway, right?
Yeah.
Kawhi signed that 2-year deal, bro. That was the smartest move in off-season history, bro.
Right, because if he don't want like it this season, he could dip, can he?
Honestly, they could both dip this offseason. Yeah, they could both dip this offseason. So, like, I think they could opt out. So, next offseason, they could both dip, depending on the situation. But, yeah. Like,
I'm honest, I'll wait for Kawhi to come in Milwaukee, bro.
Hey, because it sounds like Giannis don't want to leave.
Oh, we gonna talk about his comments today?
Yeah, we could talk about that once. Let's go ahead and go over the free agency. Let's start talking free agency shit. But so, matter of fact, let's go ahead and talk about the Giannis comments. Yeah, so go ahead and talk about that because I saw it, but you can go ahead and leave that.
So I'll probably gotta pull up the fucking transcripts, but in all honesty, big takeaway what Giannis was talking about. I don't know who the hell he was talking to. Right? This wasn't y'all. This wasn't Watts. This wasn't any big NBA, right? This wasn't even Rachel Nichols. He was talking to some shorty. I don't even know. Shorty's probably, I don't even know where she was from. She's probably like some Milwaukee newscaster. This is why I say Giannis is the most relatable NBA player we got, bro. Not just physically wise, because God basically played favoritism with his genetics, but when it comes to his personality, bro. He literally had a conversation with a reporter nobody knows about and basically said, yeah. He said Anthony Davis, LeBron, KD love to play with those guys if they come to Milwaukee. And then he talked about LeBron and particularly said, he's my idol. He's the best player in the world. I would love to play with Milwaukee and play with him in Milwaukee or LA. He said in Milwaukee or LA. The nigga said in Milwaukee or LA. Now, mind you, I don't think that much of it, but if I'm an LA Lakers fan right now, bro.
Oh my God.
I'm happy. That was the short end of the stick. Y'all gonna find her. The reason I can't read it word for word, because I want to say it again. I do not know who the fuck reported that, okay? This is real because there's a video out of it. But I don't know the lady who had that interview with him. And it was retweeted by a bunch of NBA pages, so I could probably find it to one of those. But, hello.
Hey,
Damian Lillard
look,
about to
man.
have LeBron James come in his doorstep and tell him to shut the hell up. Talk about the NBA and the bubble was way easier. Shut your ass up. Let me find okay. I hope I don't get fucking pop-ups galore clicking on this link. But the Greek Freak 30 point blah 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 blah.
Now I really hate the fact that I gotta go to this damn BSO page.
Oh yeah, he also said he don't mind being a number 1, 2, or 3
Yeah,
guy.
I just saw that, G.
Superstar, bro.
Yo, this nigga, y'all. Yo, G, this gonna be basketball Twitter when that nigga Giannis signs with the Lakers for $10 million.
Here you go with your weak ass beta male self. I knew you couldn't get the job done. You too soft for this.
That's all like LeVar Ball, but I know it's Dr. Umar.
That's Dr. Umar me. But dog, when G niggas gonna be devastated, G, Giannis gonna sit there and be like, yo, AD, get your max. Look, I'm a rich man in Greece. You know how many deals? He gonna show the sponsorships. $10 million. I'm straight. I'm coming to LA, G. The niggas will be devastated, G. And then LeBron gonna sit there and be like, hey, man. Bro. LeBron gonna turn to Magic, G. Nigga, man, LeBron gonna turn to Magic Johnson, G. That nigga LeBron gonna be like, I'm gonna just move a smooth 15.
The nigga really gonna have Greek, way better athletic James Worthy, and slightly less better fucking Chicago-born savage Anthony Davis, as in, Kareem. The ball, all you gotta do is pass the fucking ball, and when playoff time comes, dominate niggas, because he been resting all season.
Gee, hey, LeBron gonna average 15 assists.
Listen, this is one of the quotes he said. This is how you know the Lakers talk hate that Jimmy Johnson. I don't think it's happening, right? I think Adam Silver played David Stern in this situation. The only how this probably be that happen if James Harden go to the Brooklyn, right? Then Giannis going to don't see that bad. Yeah. Would be one of the greatest finals in finals history, by the way. But one team ain't gonna have a fucking bench. The other is. So Giannis Antetokounmpo,
most likely Brooklyn.
At Cosmote TV. Kobe told me to sacrifice if I want to win and be great. LeBron is the best in the world. MVP is another story. I can tell that he is the best and my idol. He is 17 years in the league. No, Kobe told me to sacrifice and just immediately start talking to LeBron.
Yo.
Is it considered tampering if you say,
I was just about to ask. Is any of what he just said considered tampering?
It's not tampering because it's a player. He didn't say outright. It's not tampering because, for one, the players can kind of say that as long as they phrase it correctly. He phrasing everything very correctly. Very correctly. So it's not tampering on his end. It's not like how AD outright said, fucking trade me. That was kind of, and he said specifically where. That's tampering.
And then he also said, when he came into the arena, when it was like his last day there, it said, that's all, folks. He a savage from my city, man. I love him to death. Don't even know the man. He from the buildings.
Yo, G, that man funny.
I'm trying to find the full thing. I don't know who the fuck to go to find it. Some Golden State Warriors fans was crying off that shit, by the way.
I bet they were. G.
Oh, yeah, because that eliminates any shred of hope that you had.
Literally, their hope is Giannis in every way possible, but that's not going to happen. It's just not. It's done for them. They're done.
Yeah, it's that damn, bro. The Warriors was going to be Giannis. Now it's like,
well, screw us.
Exactly. It's like, well, okay, damn. What do you want me to do? But all right, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and start recapping the actual free NBA free agency offseason crap. Let me see if I can find all the latest moves. All right. So we'll have to go all the way down here. Shout out to Athletic, and shout out to T-Mobile Tuesday for giving me a free Athletic. You did too, because that's helpful as hell. All right. So much. All right, so free agency started 2-3 weeks ago. Damn near feels like crazy when you think about it. So, I think free agency technically started off when the Bucks traded for Drew Holiday, which was a very huge move. That's a hey Giannis, please, we don't leave us, we care move to them for them. Where I ain't gonna sit there and say they know what Giannis is about to do, but it's a hey Giannis, we're serious type move.
Okay, listen. The only one, this is like 2 years too late, by the way. But the only way that's so like Giannis, we trying to help. If they would have had another nigga that already complimented him, plus you had like, I don't know if the Milwaukee Bucks fucking believe that Chris Middleton is that nigga. I don't know. I'm
They
honestly
also
trying
gave
to
that
find
man
out.
$170 million too, by the way.
Now, if they could just literally package up Chris Middleton and somebody else and get Bradley Beal, then that is hey, nigga, is you drinking wine?
Definitely am.
Okay. I was just praying you wasn't drinking a fucking Bacardi bottle straight to the damn head. I'm like, Chris, that's this podcast, man. We gotta talk.
I was like, bro, work wasn't that hard today.
What's preparing for tomorrow?
Hey, y'all having the flow?
Tomorrow's different.
You said what?
Y'all hear what happened to flow? Y'all hear what happened to flow?
No.
What happened?
I'll talk about it after the pod.
After the pod. I'm like, I don't know how to edit videos that good yet.
I'm low key sad because he was a big help. But now how they feel that Chris Middleton is that dude, I don't know. But Drew Holiday, if they had somebody else with Giannis, will make this team the guaranteed number one in the East and a guaranteed final spot. If they had somebody else, just a dude that can flat out score the ball when Giannis is getting trapped in the paint. Just I don't know. It is not Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton helped one game in the whole entire goddamn playoff stretch. One.
And it was the game where Giannis wasn't there. It was the game where Giannis wasn't there, though. That was the game he wasn't there.
His ankle was gone. His ankle was gone.
Yeah.
That game when his ankle was gone, Chris Middleton had like 30 or something like that. He kept, remember, that was the time when the Heat was about to win, but Chris Middleton kept shooting that ball.
Just kept
and it was going in.
Chris Middleton was making buckets. He was a bucket that game.
Yes. If they could have got one person now, in all honesty, I would say, I guess the league is probably happy at the way that the max contracts are going. And I have to say this, that a lot of stars that you can pair up, it is impossible because money don't work. There is no, the money don't work with a lot of stars.
Yep.
Joining forces.
Yep.
Because you got to think about it. The best people that you could probably pair up with Giannis now is who? Bradley Beal. Westbrook will cost a lot. James Harden.
Honestly, Harden and Giannis will be a match made in heaven. They just don't like each other. They just don't like each other.
They don't like each other. That pick and roll will be absolutely disgusting.
Yep.
Absolutely disgusting. Kyrie and KD seeing what they're gonna do. Bron ain't leaving LA. It's too comfy out there, and you just want to chip. AD waiting for your move. You don't want Paul George. He can't get it done against teams with fucking white people. Kawhi, you gotta wait probably another 2 years. Who you could possibly get other than Bradley Beal? Jimmy looking like in Miami. He ended his career in Miami.
He's probably retiring in Miami.
Zach LaVine?
That's not like I love Zach LaVine, but he's not that much of an upgrade from Chris Middleton. At least you can sit there and say Chris Middleton is a solid defender. I ain't gonna say he's a great or good defender, but he's a solid defender. I don't think I ever see Chris Middleton get cooked. Zach LaVine's getting cooked.
Yeah. Okay, anyway. So, all right. Now, this is a long shot, and it popped up in my head out of nowhere. What would the Bucks have to do to land somebody like Dame?
Dame saying, I want out? That's the only way. Dame has to outright
So Dame
say,
said I want out.
like, Dame has to sit there and see everything going on in Portland just igniting the flames, like how it was over the summer.
His owner doing crack. This is decriminalized. His owner just on a crack pipe, just hitting that
Literally,
bitch. Like, yeah,
like
man.
he has to
keep you
walk
here
in the
forever.
locker room. He has to walk in the locker room, see C.J. McCollum and Nurkic smoking crack, and be like, you know what? I can't do this no more here. Dame has that, like, it has to be specifically. Damian Lillard is not leaving the Portland Trailblazers until he outright says, I want out. Even if they sit there and trade everybody, and he says, I want to stay, they're not trading him because it's like, hey, they'll come see Damian Lillard at least to a small market team like that.
It's just like that economy revolves around Damian Lillard, low key. Because the Adidas store out there, he probably Adidas' biggest athlete other than James Harden.
Exactly. So,
Like it's just so much. Like you can't even miss. That's the only other person. All the young guys already got their money.
yep. So it's like,
You can't do nothing about it.
either he's going to stay, like, at this point,
Phil
he's going
Zion
to
in 3 to 5 years say I want out.
Look, man.
Zion gonna say I want out. There's so much Louisiana.
Look, G, I'm sorry, man. I think that man gonna love eating a fried alligator too damn much to leave. The food too good. Literally, if Zion leaves, he's gonna come. He gotta go to a city that has way better food, which is, look.
Hey, if Zion leaves, the Pelicans selling that team.
Hey, man, Seattle they go,
They
but off to Seattle you go. But my point is, I don't think Zion going nowhere until he sit there and be like, all right, who got the best food? And he gonna sit there and be like, oh yeah, Chicago. All right, man, I'm gonna be a bull. We're gonna see Zion take it. He's gonna have a video log.
Bro, the marketing for that will be perfect.
Yeah, he's gonna be.
Zion as a
he's gonna be the
bull.
new face of Herald's, nigga.
Literally built.
He'll be the face of Herald's.
Eagles fans hilarious. Ain't nobody coming to this team ever. Y'all better hope y'all draft good.
Shout out to AK, I believe.
Y'all gotta worry about Will Chamberlain's son catching COVID.
Ugh. Hey, look, man, that's nigga filthy. But moving on for the Bucks though, like they did get Drew Holiday. The Bogdan situation was a big fat L. That was a nasty ass L in itself, but I get what they were trying to do at the end of the day with that. I kind of get what they were trying to do.
Like, bro, a starting lineup with Drew Holiday, Bogdan, Chris Middleton, Greek Freak, and Brook Lopez could have worked.
I would have felt comfortably saying
The
they're my
floor
favorite.
is spaced. The floor is spaced perfectly. It's just the
Nobody's really a
defense
bad
probably is
defense.
gonna be like,
No, Bogdan. I never seen Bogdan get cooked.
because he played for Sacramento. You didn't watch Sacramento games.
I'm gonna keep it real. When I did watch him, he never did get cooked. At least, like anytime I watched the Kings, it was against the Lakers, G, or the Clippers.
Nigga, who was you? I'm about to say, but nigga, who was you watching the Kings with? Was you watching the Kings in Washington play a nice 48 minutes of L?
Look, man, look. Of course, it was against a good team, but I never really seen Bogdan get cooked. And he never got really cooked at all. Like I ain't, like I said, he's like Chris Middleton. He's a solid defender. He's going to make sure he doesn't get cooked. Now if LeBron decides to pick him on a pick and roll, what do you want me to do? But that's different. But in terms of like guarding his position, which is shooting guards, and if he needs to guard another wing, I never really seen him sit there and cook me, unless it's somebody like I never seen him go against James Harden or somebody like that. But I don't think I ever seen him get cooked. So if that was a lineup, they would have been really good defensively, and the floor would have been spaced like you said. Giannis still does what he gets to do, but you have at least somebody who isn't scared of a clutch shot, because that dude I think has like 3-4 game winners I remember in recent memory. So it's just like they would have been straight, but it failed because I think the league called tampering on their asses, so they had to hold that. But I think they turned that. Who they end up getting? Forgot who the hell they got. They got somebody else. I forgot who the hell it was. We'll get to it. But next major move, the Lakers turn Danny Green away into Dennis Schroeder, which was a very huge move for the Lakers. The Lakers just literally did a lot.
No, it's the other way around. They turned Danny Green into Wesley Matthews. They turned Rondo into Dennis Schroeder.
Well, yeah, but trade-wise, they traded Danny Green to get Dennis Schroeder.
Oh, yeah, trade-wise.
Yeah, trade-wise, they turned. So, yeah, still very correct. And we'll just talk about the Lakers' free agency moves from here. But, yeah, they turned Dennis Schroeder. They turned Danny Green and Dennis Schroeder. And they also did get Wesley Matthews immediately afterwards. And surprised the world by getting Montrezl Harrell. And they got Marc Gasol. So the Lakers literally probably had a very freaking good free agency. Some people did say they sacrificed too much defense, and losing Rondo may hurt. It depends. I feel like it may hurt come playoff time in moments, but I don't think it's that serious. It wasn't that serious.
I wouldn't say
I don't think it was that
sacrificed
serious
much.
too, because the situation with that was it was all about can they defend guards, right? Can they defend those guards?
Mm-hmm.
There's no such thing as defending James Harden, so you take that out the water. They locked down Westbrook that series, out the paint. Jamal Murray had the seed of Jordan inside of him, couldn't stop him. But whoever the hell else was his shooting guard that we don't remember didn't do anything.
Gary Harris, which
so like that was the thing, right? And when it came to like the Westbrook situation, I was on him most of the time when I was watching the series.
yeah, or they just left them open. They literally said, "Hey, you gonna shoot threes? Go ahead and shoot a three, nigga." They tested Westbrook, and outside of game one.
So I think the defense team might rear its head, but they got fucking AD.
Exactly, and
Right, nobody's getting into that paint.
that too. Plus, you kept KCP, and like regardless, Frank Vogel is still a regardless, the core of his thing is defense. Like at the very worst, you're not gonna be that bad of a defense. He's still gonna be top 10 to me. And as long as you're top 10, you're probably still in place to win. You're still a very good defensive team. Like not everybody in the league plays defense, but Frank Vogel's still a very
okay. But
defensive
you're
coach.
looking at if you look at it in the sense of defense, right? What team is cooking the Lakers?
Nobody, especially now because your main issue was this. Okay, we know you can lock niggas down, but what are you gonna do when LeBron is off the court and all we have to do is just double, triple team AD? They fixed it by literally saying, "Hey, we're going to give you Dennis Schroeder." Oh, let's add on top of that. Let's give you the 6th man of the year, and let's put Montrezl Harrell with him. So now, regardless who is on the court with LeBron or AD, scoring is very much possible. Especially because you now have a guard who can score and also play make, and also get Anthony Davis the goddamn ball.
I do think the Rondo situation. I think the Rondo situation hurt them more than any other player that played let go.
Yes, I agree.
That is truly a fact. It would be an argument if they wouldn't have let KCP up. It wouldn't have been an argument. It said KCP between Rondo's. That's an argument right there. Because both of them play really good defense. But I get an edge to Rondo because when LeBron was off the court, Rondo's fucking goal was to feed AD. That was his primary goal. Was to feed AD.
Feed AD and just find a way for us to score.
And he did some of that scoring.
Yep.
So it's difficult. I do think the defense thing, just because of Rondo, right? Rondo is the biggest piece. Danny Green, this was not his year. I do think Danny Green is a fantastic player, same on both ends, but it was just not his year. So they had to let him go. JaVale McGee was unplayable after the first round of the playoffs.
And literally, people also got to remember. People also got to remember with JaVale, he started games, he never finished them. Dwight finished some of those games, not him.
And even Dwight, they took Dwight out in certain situations.
Yeah, but I mean in general, like throughout the regular season.
Dwight was unplayable. They brought Dwight in certain games to fucking beat the other team.
Yep.
So, because when you got a situation in which you got KCP, Braun, AD, then you gonna close the game with KCP, Braun, AD, Wesley Matthews, and fucking Montrezl Harrell.
I don't think that's the starting lineup.
No,
I
I think
think
you
Marcus
closing the
Hall
game with
starting.
that.
I thought I'd say, I don't think that's starting. I don't think, yeah, okay.
No, they starting bad. I don't think Wesley Matthews started either. But you closing the game with that. Maybe if you want to go defensively, right? You throw Wesley Matthews out there. Now, something else nobody talk about. Wesley Matthews, when he part of that Bucks defense.
He was solid. And he shoots over 35% from three. And literally, you're going to be more open. You're going to be more open than you ever been because literally you got LeBron and AD on the court with you.
Whenever I want to see like whatever the Lakers do, I always look at like two niggas on Twitter that talks nothing about but Lakers games, and they break it down on the like through tweet. And that's that unwritten rules guy, and that's the Lakers field room shit. Talking about like how much not Anthony Davis, Wesley Matthews did on the defensive side, especially when he was going against like Jimmy Butler. There's some talking to that. There's going to be some talk with that. So I can see it. If people talking about like, oh, what they're going to do against KD and shit like that, the same thing every other team do against KD. Watch him fucking score.
And then crunch time, put Anthony Davis on him.
And watch him fucking score still. I'm sorry. He's just going to keep scoring. Same thing with James Harden. Same thing with any other elite player. But this is the thing. Elite players is always going to be elite. You got to stop the regular niggas.
Right, yep.
Regular niggas from smoking you. Them. Who was that nigga on the fucking Nuggets that was smoking them, G? That wasn't Joe taking Jamal Murray?
Oh, Jeremy Grant.
You got to stop that nigga. You got to stop them type of niggas, bro.
And that's one thing the Lakers did well all playoff. Hey, we going to stop you regular niggas. Because you regular niggas probably going to help them get additional 50 points. We cool with James Harden doing what he got to do. If Westbrook shoots himself out the gym, perfectly fine. Nuggets, cool. Jamal Murray, cool. Jokic, AD gonna neutralize you. Hey, you other niggas, hey, good luck. With the Blazers, Dame, CJ, and whatever. Melo, you may have a game. Everybody else, eat a dick.
So, but I like the Lakers' moves. They upgraded everything. Probably downgraded a little bit on defense. I'm not going to go straight on the Lakers guaranteed W because anything can happen in this league we love called the NBA. But it's so hard to say what team is better than that on paper. Because people talk about Marcus Gasol is old and slow. He doesn't have to put in as much work on that Lakers team that he did with the Raptors.
Exactly. And plus, all he has to do is play solid defense and shoot threes. He don't really need, and that's all he got to do, and get boards. That's literally all he has to do.
All you got to do is come out for the first 5 minutes with Anthony Davis and go to hell home.
Literally, you're JaVale McGee, but you're giving veteran leadership. And also, he's also once again he's a Gasol brother. He can pass. So,
and I think this is another situation that shows that when you in free agency and it's not always about that damn big star you're trying to get, whoever the biggest star in free agency. It's about getting players that's going to mesh well. People talk so much shit about this Lakers team, bro. Say it was the bubble the reason why they won. Say whatever you want to say. If the bubble didn't happen, trust me, it would be a Luka Doncic versus goddamn LeBron James Western Conference Final, bro. I'm telling you that right now. If the bubble didn't happen, so don't say, "Oh, the Clippers would have smacked them other than the bubble," because the Clippers don't even own their own stadium. So when
that's a bar.
When you look at what Rob Pelinka did in the offseason in which they got these people that they absolutely slandered. Every pick people slandered. Nigga, I think me and you slandered some picks, Chris. Every pick nigga slandered. And they was able to win a chip with that. That's smart. And think about it. Bro, what trades did they make by the trade deadline with that team?
I don't think they made any moves.
They ain't made any, I don't think.
What moves did they make, bro? The team is we talking about just the free agency, bro. But think about the free agents that they was able to keep other than KCP. Marcus Morris
Markieff Morris.
gonna help a lot. I mean, Marquise
Keep him,
gonna help a lot.
And you kept KCP.
You kept him on that 1 year deal, and you got Jared Dudley, the glue apparently, because they had to keep him.
Look, and this is one thing people need to understand. All 12 of your players don't need to be cold. G, that's the thing.
No,
That 12, like literally, after
all 12 of them
you
not
get your
cold.
10, you supposed to have 10 dudes sit there and be like, I trust you. 11, 12, and 13 and 14, literally those are either a veteran who's just there to be, we in the locker room. If you say something stupid, we're going to roast you, but we like you. That's Jared Dudley. And then plus they still got Talon Horton Tucker. They got Giannis' brother and somebody else I can't think of. So literally, you set.
I got fucking Kuzma too.
And they still have Kuzma, who's probably going to
get shit before the season over with.
he might get dealt. This is Kuzma. For Kuzma, this is a make or break year for you. Either you're going to work your way into probably getting a decent contract from the Lakers because they can keep you because of bird rights, and you become the Kuzma that we all know and love before LeBron got there, or you are sent away to the highest bidder, or at the trade deadline, or when your free agency comes up and somebody decides to give you $80 million. Somebody will give him $80 million because of potential. But for Kuzma, this is a very huge year for him. You can stay in LA or you go to Charlotte and play with LaMelo. Choice is yours. Because it seems like Jordan is willing to give niggas money. Willingly trying to give niggas money. So, throwing that out there. But I like what the Lakers did. Next team.
Lakers got a squad, bro. They squad is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I say the Lakers, they won the offseason as far as team makeup, but as far as a team that brought in somebody that can really help turn their franchise around or at least get them over that, we're trying to make the playoff hump. Phoenix is number 2 for me.
Yeah, and I was about to say, let's go over
Phoenix
let's talk about Phoenix.
made the best pickup to me.
Yeah, Phoenix did what they were supposed to do. Either you gonna find a way to get better, or you just stick with your guns and you figure it out from there. And I think the only thing they really lost this offseason was Aaron Baines, but I think that dude was about to get paid from someone. I think somebody gave him money. I don't know if he's still a free agent or not. But the Suns did good by
he's not a free agent. I forgot what team y'all.
All right, I'm gonna look that
Who's
up.
the Celtics, didn't he?
No, Tristan Thompson is on the Celtics.
Wait, Tristan Thompson went to the Celtics?
Yes, I thought I told you this.
Bro, that went so under the radar.
But anyway, the Suns.
Shout out to Tristan Thompson.
Shout out to Chris Paul. You're away from OKC. You're just in another kind of red state, but now blue state. It's still very red. It's just they didn't fuck with Trump. They don't believe in King
Day. John
Day.
McCain and them niggas getting you up out of there.
Exactly. But hey, they don't celebrate King Day there still. So it's still a red state to me. But you're in a really good place where you can help boost the Suns up in a way that be really beneficial for Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. And I really like the move for them. They still have a really good squad, by the way. So it's like I really don't have much.
A really good young squad.
Yeah, like they still have a really good young squad. Chris Paul literally is at worst going to be the third option every night, and you have probably the best perimeter play he probably ever played with in Devin Booker. So at this point, it's just a fight for that 8th, 7th seed again. Shout out to
Man, they probably overachieve.
Yeah,
Chris Paul is such a difference maker with a franchise that sometimes we let that Rocket situation cloud our eyes. But bro, Chris Paul took that Rocket situation to what? A Western Conference Finals. How many times? Once.
They were literally a Chris Paul game away from them.
They were
going
literally
to the
Chris
finals.
Paul's hamstring from imploding.
So they did. What he do with that? What he do with that OKC team? What seed they were?
They were the
They were
seventh.
top 5, weren't they?
No. At one point they were. But they were the seventh. No, wait, no. They were the sixth.
Yeah, I'm thinking they higher because
I
went the
think they were
Jazz to
sixth or
7
fifth
seed.
seed. I think they were the fifth or sixth seed. No, because the Mavericks was the seventh seed. I think they were the fifth seed because the Rockets were the fourth seed. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
So yeah, they were a top 5 seed.
Yeah, because we were talking about the first round that it was a chance that OKC could take them out.
Yeah, so
It was the 7th, so yeah. But think about that. Think about that, bro. Think about that.
and this is not
Now,
a
when
prime
he
Chris
just put that
Paul.
OKC team.
And this is not a prime Chris Paul. And Chris Paul literally is in his John Stockton years. I would like to say with way better talent. Literally, you're playing
Now
with
look, you traded you Chris Paul as a player. You taking away Steven Adams for DeAndre Ayton, huge ass upside. Shai Alexander for Devin Booker.
That's an upgrade.
Come on, bro.
Huge upgrade. And like you have young, respectable players on that team still. Like it kind of sucks you have to lose Kelly Oubre, but it be that way sometimes because I'm a huge Oubre fan. But you still have Devin Booker. You have your core 2 young pieces, which is Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. And also, I think it benefits DeAndre Ayton more because he actually has a guard who, for one, who's going to sit there and get him the ball in the right spots. Like even though Rubio was a solid pass first guard for them, it was a hell of a difference when that team was healthy. But Chris
And
Paul
Rubio
is
got better with his
everything that
defense
plus more.
too.
And a way better defender, and that your defense gets a lot better. Because even though Chris Paul probably can't guard the best player on the court all the time, but he's going to at least light a fire under Devin Booker to be like, hey, bro, guard these niggas, G. You don't have to work that hard on offense no more because, hey, I'm bringing the ball up the court. I'm probably setting up the offense. You just got to find a way to get at least as open as possible, get to your spot. I just need you to play some good defense. It don't even got to be crazy lockdown. Just good enough where you don't get cooked. That makes a difference. Like it's in terms of leadership, Chris Paul is going to turn a lot of things around that helps Monty Williams, who is a really solid coach, and makes his life easier. Sit there and be like, hey, bro, you could probably light a fire that I can't on court. Because I can only say so much during when the ball is dribbling. But while that ball is dribbling, you can light fires that I can't. So that's going to be real interesting to see. Because this is a hot take. I think Devin Booker has potential to be in the MVP running. I'm not gonna say he's winning. He might not even be top 3, but he might be top 5 in MVP votes, depending how good the Suns do. It's very much possible. Very much possible.
And as he should. He's that type of player.
Yeah, because like he's going to get some of like for him, he's a bucket. That means scoring for you is just gonna get easier. And that's a W in itself. Because literally, if you can score freaking 20, I think he will average what? How much Devin Booker averaged this past season? Hold on. Shout out to
like 27 or something like that. He a baller, bro.
26.6, so technically 27. Why averaging 7 assists? So he also has to play make. So some of your buckets, your assist numbers may drop a little bit, but your 26, 27 might go up to 28, 29 because literally you don't have to worry about playmaking. Some of those buckets that you was assisting go back to you.
Right.
So that's going to be beneficial. And like that, once again, that might help him defensively. And his percentages go up. So Devin Booker is pretty much primed for an all-star season, but also primed to probably have an MVP caliber season, especially if they elevate to a top 6-5 seed in the West. So
I think it's a chance they could be 60, possibly 50, because OKC drops out completely. The Mavericks might be a higher seed this year, I believe. I think Portland is wishy-washy. It's like we'll see if they, how
I want to talk about Portland
next.
I got something to say about Portland. But keep going, Tyler.
But yeah,
breaking news: Nicholas Batum signed his contract with the Clippers.
Nigga, no one give a
Oh
fuck
yeah,
about
that's
no
what I
Mitchell
meant to
Batum.
talk. I was wanted to talk to you about earlier. I knew it was something else I was forgetting.
Batum ain't gonna be a major
That's
factor.
not.
Who cares? We'll talk about that when we get to the
Yeah.
Clippers. So,
But yeah, I think I don't have super duper high expectations for the Suns, but I definitely think they can be better, way better than where they were last season and more. I think they could be a top 6 seed.
yeah, like it's very much possible. Like I said, I won't be mad. What happens happens with them. So like I'm excited to see what happens the with the Suns this year. But I want to talk about the Blazers real quick. People I think is kind of overhyping the shit. Like yeah, they traded for Robert Covington, which is once again, I feel like the Blazers do this every offseason. They get they get a wingman, and everybody says this is the missing piece. Last year was Rodney Hood. The year before was Trevor Ariza. The year before, well, last year was Trevor Ariza and Rodney Hood. The year before that was somebody else. The year before that it was the missing piece. I feel like this is just the annual. They made the same move type move. So I'm not impressed by the Blazers. If healthy, they should be still in the. I'm putting them in the 6, 7, 8 seed race, but I'm not putting too much stock on the Blazers. I think people's kind of hyping things with them.
Blazers will be the Blazers, man.
Yep. But if there was a team that's probably going to fall off, I wouldn't be shocked if they fall off. Just me stating, I wouldn't be shocked.
West just got way too good, man.
It is.
Too good. From
Way
top
too
to
good.
bottom. The Warriors gonna be in the playoffs this year.
Let's go ahead and talk
The
about your
Jazz
Warriors
is
fan,
always
bro.
gonna be the Jazz.
But yeah, like the West is gonna be a hellhole. But let's go ahead and transition to the Warriors. Losing Clay probably is one of the saddest things that ever happened. I shed a tear about the Clay situation, but I like James Wiseman. That fixes something they've been needing for the past couple of seasons, which was a center. And he's a center. I feel like that fits because he's just not no. He actually has an offensive skill set, and defensively, I think he'll be solid. Plus, you learn from Draymond Green. Draymond is healthy. That's a bonus, I would say. Steph is healthy, but Kelly Oubre is a huge pickup as well to me. Excuse me, but and then also you at least know bench wise who are you bringing in and who you keeping and who you bringing in. And Eric Pascal coming off leading your bench is solid. Plus, I think they got somebody else. I can't think, but you're not outrightly trash. Let's put it that way. Like you'll figure it out.
No, they're not.
Yeah, like you're still it's gonna be some figuring out because of Clay's gone. But the biggest factor for the Warriors this season isn't going to be Draymond Green to some people, because I think he's going to come in healthy and in shape, unlike last year, and also motivated. But it's going to be Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins dictates how good this Warriors team can be. They can still probably stick it to the top 4 seed at the or if Wiggins is really freaking good. If Wiggins is just Wiggins, and we know what Wiggins is Wiggins, then that Warriors team is probably going to be no better than a 4-6 seed. So.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think the over or under with the Warriors. It's just the West is so good. And I think what you said with James Wiseman with Draymond is really good to see. You got that. You fixing the thing that the Warriors lack the most, and that's size in the paint. But the Clay situation hurt them so much. Now, if they want to have Curry, Clay, Kelly Oubre, Wiseman, Draymond, Wiggins off the bench with Eric Pascal, the Warriors the 4th seed.
Yeah.
You can't say that. That's just the way it is, bro. And they fucking niggas.
I agree.
They fucking niggas. It just Clay was that glue to me. Because he guarded Curry primary defenders. I mean, Curry, he guarded Curry primary.
Hey, yo,
Are you
Tyler,
good,
your
Tyler?
mic, yeah, Tyler, your mic
Hold
good?
on.
Like, that dude sound like he in a danger zone, G.
He felt like he was getting abducted by aliens. But, but you got that Clay was just a big piece. But I think the Warriors, because you said something that James Harden and Draymond pair are going to be good. I don't got too much stock in Eric Pascal. He's one of those situations I'm a firm believer in. Don't talk to me when you scoring that many points on a team that you need to score that many points on. Like when niggas like Luke Kennard because he was on distance. Like Drake, Derrick Rose and Blake Griffin was injured a lot. Nigga, that was your time to shine. And you still could barely average anything. So I don't put stock into players like that. Same reason I don't think RJ Barrett takes a leap because nigga, you the only thing the Knicks got and you couldn't even do shit. But I do say this. I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic about the Warriors. Not as much as I was if Clay wouldn't have been healthy, but I'm still optimistic. Should have kept. Looked like you should have kept D'Angelo Russell, by the way. But hey, it is what it is.
In terms of keeping them, like, I would at least say Wiggins can. He's not a, like I said, Wiggins. Niggas saying the Wiggins was supposed to be the greatest defender coming out the league. I was cap, but he's a solid. Once again, another nigga who's a solid defender, and you have somebody like Draymond on your ass. Is like, look, bitch, you gonna defend one way or another, because I can't guard point guards.
That's what Draymond stayed the whole year though.
And that's also true, but I don't know where you shipped that nigga off to. But and for what?
Chicago Bull. Otto Porter.
Look, man, he can't do nothing because, San Francisco is anti-super spreader. They literally kicked the San Francisco 49ers out the state. They said, hey, you can't play here, nigga. They told the football team you can't play here. So you think they want Otto Porter? That man super spreader vibes. But that ain't gonna happen. That'd be ridiculous as hell. If that happens, I'm probably saying the Warriors is the AFC. Like Jesus Christ,
I'm talking shit.
I know.
Wendell Carter probably. Lori marketing. You got options.
Look, if you was gonna do that, then you should have did that during the draft. I'm like, that's the case. You should have did that during the draft. I'm like, okay, we get two established young guys who. And just tell them, hey, just hoop. But they wanted Wiseman. I ain't mad at it. But like I said, you got Draymond who's gonna keep. He's gonna hold niggas accountable because once again, he's gonna probably come in this season motivated. He's probably tired of his mama cussing niggas out on Twitter for him. So, but I like what the Warriors is doing. It's just they're in a very what can we do next type situation. Let's go over East. We already talked about the Bucks, but let's talk about the Celtics. So they moved Gordon Hayward away, which is an addition by subtraction type move. I think that comforts everybody. It does hurt your bench greatly because they lost him and Wanamaker. Oh, that's who the Warriors got, Wanamaker. So he just does his job type role player, point guard. So, but I think you at least solidify players to do what they're supposed to do more, and they feel more comfortable getting their shots. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart at sometimes, and Kemba when he comes back. I think but I do like the move of Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson is just a huge upgrade from Daniel Theus. Overall, Tristan Thompson literally is still one of the best rebounders in the league. If you're a very perimeter-centric team, you need somebody who's going to go up and get your bricks sometimes, especially Marcus Smart's bricks. Because you know that when that nigga thinks he's hot, he's going to shoot shit. So Tristan Thompson is still one of the best offensive rebounders in the league. He has improved as a defender. as well. So like you fix what was one of your gravest holes the past couple was since losing Al Horford, which is center. Like it's fixed. The only problem is he doesn't spread the floor, but still is like everybody else can shoot on that team, but you. It's not that bad of a situation.
Yeah, I think the Boston go to Hayward situation. He don't look like he wants to play there. He was supposed to be that great white hope though. So the crazy thing, that offseason, they don't have nobody. Like from that offseason, when him and Kyrie came over there, what was the fruits of that? Hey, bro, we gotta talk about that age.
Hey,
Gotta talk about it, bro.
The man scared to pull the trigger.
Man, bro.
Never forget the
Could've
man
had
scared to
AD.
pull the trigger. That is still probably one of my
Yeah,
best.
AD, man.
That's still probably one of my best episode titles. Is Danny Ainge was scared to pull the trigger. That man was dead ass scared to pull the trigger. G, you hate to see it, but
And it was like it still doesn't make sense why he didn't want to do it.
he didn't want to give up Tatum. He did not want to give up Tatum. That's what it was, plain and simple. I understand that, Jason Tatum, but Anthony Davis.
Right.
So it's like I'm like, ain't nobody untouchable in this situation, nigga. It'd be that way. But
And you still really could have did the unthinkable. Is a possibility, you still possibly could have got LeBron.
The fuck was that happening?
Like it, because if they would have got Anthony Davis,
LeBron
then
ain't going to
LeBron
MAGA ass Boston.
No.
But he wanted to play with Anthony Davis though.
He wasn't going to leave the Lakers to go to Boston.
But we would have been seeing Brown. I think Brown went to the Lakers. He knew he was gonna get somebody else. If he knew Anthony Davis was never gonna come, if he knew Kawhi was never gonna come, if he knew Paul George was never gonna come, then he would have been playing in Philly right now. We would have been celebrating the Philadelphia Sixers as the two-time NBA champions.
Oh yeah, no, never mind. Because I forgot that Philly was a possibility.
Yeah, that's what it was. I'm like, Boston was never in the picture. Boston's also MAGA as shit. Could you imagine them literally? It's gonna be nasty. So then also
considering the nasty things they've been saying about Cam Newton.
Exactly. The man had COVID, and nasty things. but I like what Boston did. I want to talk about Detroit Pistons and what the hell they're trying to do. I think they're trying to legit build that roster that remember in the beginning of the bubble when the Nuggets ran all them bigs. I think they're trying to relive that, and they said it might work because they opened free agency by signing Mason Plumlee and also Jeremy Grant. For one, they overpaid for both. The fact Jeremy Grant's getting $20 million a season is nasty. It's nasty as shit. But hey, shout out to them trying to trade that contract in 2 to 3 seasons. And then you get Mason Plumlee, whatever Plumlee brother they got. You gave that man $15 million a season. That's nasty in itself. And then shout out to, I don't know who reported it, but they said when you add up the contracts of Miles Plumlee and Jeremy Grant, it opens up possibly for a sign and trade for Blake Griffin. I thought that was actually going to happen. It never did. I think the Nuggets said, "Look, no, we good." Because who's going to protect Jokic on defense, G, if that's the case? Who's going to protect that man on defense?
I think didn't they end up getting Jermichael Green for that?
Yeah, which he helped. He's a solid defender. He spreads the floor, but still, if you was to get Blake Griffin, that's just nasty. Because you gonna be some great alley oops being seen from Jokic and Blake, but I'm not about to see Jokic and Blake Griffin average literally 80 points given scored on them each. So would have been nasty. The Pistons is just hilarious, but also I think some of the moves make sense in a way where you're competitive enough. If Blake Griffin stays healthy, you can be the 8th seed. You're in the race for the 8th seed. You're in the race, at least. So But it's just the Pistons just kind of just said we're gonna throw niggas money, which what they did. They threw niggas money.
The Pistons is another Blake Griffin injury away from being the Knicks as far as the makeup of the team. Because I just don't like the way they. I don't know what the Pistons have been trying to do for the past 2 years, but nothing that they're doing is working. They've been trying, but it's just not. It's not panning out the way they really wanted to.
Yeah, it makes no sense. But like I said, if healthy, they can possibly. Key word in this is possibly, and it falls on Blake Griffin's knees. They can be an 8 seed, 7-8 seed, and you're going to see the Bucks or the Celtics in that first round and gets knocked the fuck out again. So, and have fun with that. Bon voyage. But shout out to the Pistons for just giving us role players a lot of money. This afraid to sponsored by role players getting the bread, getting the bag, because it's nasty out in these streets. What's another team we need to hit?
Philly.
Oh, Philly. There we go.
Philly made some good moves.
Yeah, Philly is interesting. So they for one turned Josh Richardson, who I'm surprised they traded for Seth Curry, which I think is a really great trade because you got shooting.
Also, they traded Josh. Oh, I thought they just picked him up.
No, they traded Josh Richardson for Seth Curry. And then they turned. What did they turn Al Horford into?
Al Horford went to the Hawks, didn't he?
No, he's part of the OKC trade. He got sent to OKC for Danny Green. And then you signed Dwight Howard to be your backup big. I feel like they did something. Oh, and the dude they drafted from Kentucky is a really decent scorer as well, from what I heard. So you added shooters. You added shooters, and you also added veteran leadership. So
added Steph Curry was huge.
Yeah,
huge.
Really.
Then
huge.
Of course, they got a better coach, a more battle tested coach. So
yeah, man. When they go up 3-1, they already know what's the outcome. So you ain't gotta worry about it.
Just don't go up 3-1. Just go up 3-0, and you don't have to worry about it.
I'll go up 3-0. He said, "Hey, look, yo, Doc, we up 2-1. Should we win this game or lose it?" Doc gonna sit there and think about it. Yeah.
Now let him tie. Let him tie.
Matter of fact, yo, Ben Simmons, shoot that game winning 3. But I think the main thing with Philly is you added shooting around Ben Simmons and Embiid. It's still gonna fall on, and this is gonna fall on Doc Rivers in itself. Who is gonna be the offenses? Who's primarily the offense gonna be built around? Is it gonna be an Embiid built around offense, or is it gonna be built around Ben Simmons? Because either way, the floor is more spaced. You still got Tobias Harris. He's regardless is gonna be there. It's just nobody wants $180 million that they gave that man. That contract is horrible.
Stupidest trade out. I mean, signing up.
Gee, they gave that man $180 million. Gee, and that man wasn't going to say no. It's still nasty. But
that shit was so stupid, man.
But still, with Horford, Harris, he can still be a guy who can give you between 18 and 30, depending. And he likes playing for Doc Rivers. So, like before they sent him to Philly, he was having one of his best years as a player with the Clippers. So I'm interested to see if he has a resurgence. But I feel like like I said, it's going to just fall on Embiid and Simmons, and not just their play on the court, but health, because both of them are injury prone as hell. Like they can literally be healthy for maybe one full month, and then they both take turns getting knick-knack injuries in some capacity.
That Ben Simmons, what was it? His foot this time?
No, it was his knee.
Or his knee.
Yeah, and it just
came out of nowhere.
Yeah, he had what Kyrie had LeBron's first year coming back to Cleveland, where his knee was bothering most of the playoffs, but he played through it. But since he kept playing through it, especially in the finals where he legit went crazy, his knee just collapsed. So to protect Ben Simmons was like, let's sit you out. We're just gonna take this L. We know we're not going nowhere really. It's gonna take this L. We're gonna figure it out again next season. Brett Brown's going. We're gonna figure it out. So as long as Ben Simmons is healthy enough, and maybe Doc Rivers can talk the man into at least, hey, bro, attempt 1 3. But even with Ben Simmons, it's not just even attempting threes. It's being a better free throw shooter as well.
Right. As
Because
much as he gets to the basket, like you got to be able to take them hits and go to the line and knock down those two shots.
If he can at least, I don't know what's his free throw percentage was this past season. I'm pretty scared to look, but if he can at least get to 65% from the line, at least, and that's not even that good in itself, but that's an improvement.
Y'all talking about the free throw shooting. If you gonna be in the paint, nigga, at least you can get a post game.
He has actually
Shit,
respectable post game.
What you
Respectable.
say?
He has respectable post game. I'm not gonna say he's out
He's
there
back in
looking
his
like
game like
Shaq.
Giannis.
I would say he's probably a tier below Giannis in terms of post moves, but he has more moves than Giannis do. He doesn't. He's not strictly halfback dive. I've seen Ben Simmons do at least has a hook move.
Yeah.
He at least has a hook
fucking
move.
floater he does.
Yeah, in that floater, he has that floater, that nasty floater, what you can do on 2K, which is really helpful. And also he has a hook, and he has that some hooks. So I've seen him do it. It's just necessarily along the lines of, does he do it on a consistent basis? No, not really. Because you still got to share the paint with with Embiid. Unless Embiid says, I want to be a shooter today. But that's really what is going to be the catalyst of how good Philly does, because if they don't improve on the offensive end, it doesn't do much service, because they're really a good defensive team. You have two of the best defensive players you can have in the league with Embiid and Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons can guard 1 through 5, and then Embiid, you're straight in the paint. So it's just, hey, can we score?
And he can draw fouls. He can space the floor on a good night. Great defensively. Joel Embiid is one of the best players in the fucking league.
Exactly.
Top 10. I don't think that duo will ever work.
Yeah, it's just if it don't work this season, we'll know by trade deadline. We'll know by trade deadline how noisy things sound, if it's working or not. If it's not working, somebody's getting flipped. We're going to hear James Harden to the Philly. It's going to be real. Now, for who knows? But literally, you're going to hear James Harden in the Philly rumors starting. So, especially if Ben Simmons is the weak link, that's going to be the hard part. But yeah, so Philly's an interesting team. Anybody else worth a damn? Because we could start getting.
Did Miami make any other moves?
Miami signed Avery Bradley. That was it.
Oh yeah,
that's a good move.
That's still a good move. That's a good move for them.
Yeah, they signed Avery Bradley. Defender. Yeah, they signed Avery Bradley, and they also re-signed Dragic. They didn't really do nothing crazy, and they gave Bam.
But don't you think they got too many guards now?
No, you have 2 point. You have Avery Bradley's pretty much. They really needed like a better point guard defender, because Kendrick Nunn is just
Avery Bradley, yes. Gordon Dragic, Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero,
shooting guard.
That's a guard.
Shooting guard still. He's more of a shooting guard.
But I said they got too many guards.
Not really. Like you have a 4-guard rotation.
Yeah,
you have a 4-guard rotation. You straight. So
no, man. Oh no.
Like you even argue last year the Lakers had too many bigs.
Scoring guard to begin with. He's that.
The Lakers did have too many bigs.
They did, and they still kind of do.
They made it work.
Like, I get where you're coming from, but it's not like the Heat is a freaking a team built around playing in the paint. They're a perimeter centric team, so it's just like, hey, it doesn't hurt to have a bunch of guards. in a way. Like, I'm not mad at it. So it's just, hey, and then Avery Bradley, if anything, is more of a veteran presence. I don't think he's going to steal that much tick. Kendrick Nunn might honestly be on the trade block for all we know, but I think it depends on how he performs this season. But and Goran Dragic is just there for another year because we just need to fill the books because it didn't seem like Giannis don't know what he wants to do. So
And then Dragic is not going to be playing. He's still going to be out for a little while because of the injury he had.
nigga played through it in the finals. He's good by now. He'll be straight. So, but yeah, like I'm not really mad at what they did. Like, and the primary thing they did was pay Bam. So it was just like, hey. Also, Gordon Hayward is first team ski mask because Michael Jordan don't give a damn, bro. Michael Jordan don't give a damn.
Michael Jordan just said, "Please
Gordon
come
Hayward
in.
made
I
as
have
much
the money."
money as KD and LeBron James.
He's the third player to have a second $30 million per year contract. The third. That's filthy.
Crazy.
Filthy. Nasty. And mugs like, G. Shout out to Gordon Hayward, G. And I told people, I told you motherfuckers, G, that he was going to get that money. I told y'all he was either going to make it back in New York or some poor sorry team was going to give him $30 million back. And he still got the money back. So, and the GOAT gave it to him on top of that. So I want y'all to sit down and think about that, G. So, but I ain't mad at it. That move does put the Hornets in conversation to fight for the 8th seed, at least. At least. So it depends what you want to see. But I think that's really it in terms of moves. But I just want to laugh at Otto Porter, G, because that nigga is on some super spreader vibes. That nigga's filthy.
What was that for?
I don't know. But the fact that
Wouldn't happen to be that party that we had the news was reported. It was like 300 people at this party or something over the weekend.
I hope not.
Probably was.
I hope it was in Wicker Park, G. So, and that video had none but white hoes. That I did not see
that
a black woman
might have been
sight.
that party.
Cause for one, he had to be back in the city because they wanted the players to report back to their hometowns. I think last week, if I recall correctly. So he had to be back in the city, or at least in the suburban area. Gee, if he was at that party, G, if that rumor of him possibly saying that the Bulls want him immediately going is true, I would cry laughing. I would cry. But that man was wild, G. There was no mask. Like, G, you're already stealing $25 million from this team. You said what, Tyler? You said what, Tyler?
I said he sure didn't have a mask. I didn't see anybody with a mask on that video. I didn't see anybody with a mask on in that video.
Yeah, nobody wears a mask in super spreader parties, G. It's just the vibe. But that man is a fucking idiot, G.
There's a word.
Hey, man. That's just
if he's one of those players who end up getting COVID, bro, I swear to God they traded him.
I think that he's the word on the street is he's already on the trade block. But let him come back and be tested for COVID, bro. He has to hold that, bro.
They gonna test him.
Well, the players got to get tested because training camp technically starts this week. So all the players that has to report, they're getting tested. So, and I think they're on quarantine either way. So, if he tests positive, he got to hold that. But he's probably, I think the Bulls might just flip him because that's just something you just don't need, especially like right now. So yeah, it's nasty out there for the boy. But that man's filthy though, really filthy. But let's go ahead and move off from basketball. Let's go into wrestling. Also,
good old wrestling.
Some good old wrestling. So, matter of fact, I want to give my soapbox real quick about before we get into current times. We're gonna go back in time. So, if you didn't know, I have been on a back in time of, for one, it originally started with me wanting to know about Booker T's title run reigns before WCW died. Because I think Tyler posted something I said about who will be who's the most iconic people for the big gold belt, and I was like, I don't think of Booker T. And then you and Deron made a case. I was like, all right,
Yeah,
and I was like,
I
okay, I'm
remember.
about to check
He's
this
like,
out.
he was one of the, because I already said like Booker T was one of the, one of the first wrestlers to really get me into watching wrestling. So that's why he was memorable with me, with that belt.
Yeah, so I decided, all right, I'm gonna go back in time and watch old WCW from, I think, Booker T, the first night that he won the belt, which was, I think, Bash at the Beach or whatever, which is also, by the way, one of the most messiest pay-per-views of all time. The messiest. But what originally also started it was when I decided to watch, I was trying to get you niggas to watch Halloween Havoc 2000, but you niggas wasn't going. Y'all bogus as hell.
But I watched it.
I know you did, Tyler. You have nothing to do, better to do sometimes. But I was trying to get the guys to watch it, but no. Shout out to Byron, though. I think he tried. So, but that made me go back in time. I was like, all right, let me
Can't
see.
forget, nigga.
Hey, it be that way. So, all I'm going to say is this, and it's going to be a short, I ain't going to spend too much time. That last year and a half, or probably 11, 10 months, I don't remember. I primarily only watched Nitros. I didn't watch no Thunders, except probably the last Thunder, because it seemed storyline was worth it. I watched pay-per-views and primarily Nitros. Just the fact that I think around that time, they took away the iconic Nitro Titantron broke my heart. That broke my heart because I like that Titantron a lot. I had it as a kid. It was just a big normal. It was just a big ass fort with a screen behind it. But the fact that that show for the past 10 months was slowly built around Booker T, which is not a bad thing because Booker T was on his coming up and he was winning belts and he was kind of the star, and they tried to build him up as pure Black Rock, which was hilarious. Goldberg, who also, by the way, was off and on getting beat up by people. Jeff Jarrett, who was on his A, somehow we made Jeff Jarrett a star thing. Scott Steiner was on the up and up as a heel. Kevin Nash doing Kevin Nash things. Hulk Hogan left, and Sting was popping up. And that nigga was fighting Vampiro at points. So I want you to sit down and think about this. That was the main event card in terms of who were the stars. Now this was the mid card. Ernest the Cat Miller. Ernest the Cat Miller was the guy who originally had the Don't Tell My Mama theme song. He was the commissioner of both of those times, by the way. But the cat was actually really entertaining. Ernest the Cat Miller. Hugh Morris. Shout out to Hugh Morris. Lance Storm and Team Canada, which was probably I see why Stone Cold did that boring shit. I feel bad for the man. But I was also around the same time Kurt Angle was blowing up, so that was their counteract to it, I guess. But shout out to Lance Storm. Rey Mysterio and the Filthy Animals and the franchise were, like, off the top of my head, some of the main primary mid-card stars. But anyway, moving forward. The fact that during, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Shout out to Booker T, though. Booker T was really good. But the fact that Goldberg got X'd out by Scott Steiner is still one of the funniest things ever, G. Scott Steiner X'd out Goldberg is hilarious. Scott Steiner X'ing out Kevin Nash is hilarious. Scott Steiner writing off Sting is hilarious. I don't know whether it's because they were just fed up or tired, because they were still under contract. Scott Steiner writing them niggas off TV was hilarious as hell. Just the consistent fact that the commissioner changed almost every 2 weeks. Shout out to seeing Chuck Palumbo, Sean Stasiak. They Trell's face. Chuck Palumbo, Sean Stasiak. What's that nigga name, G? Mark Jindrak. I said him already, I think. It was another dude. I can't think of dude's name. But bro, just the
I
fact
know
that
about Mike Jindrak, bro. He supposed to be next up.
yeah, he was supposed to
Athletic
be
as
next
hell,
up.
boy.
The funny
Yeah.
thing is, those four dudes, I can't think of the other dude name. If you was to look at them, they were meant to kind of be the next big things to them. They were writing them to be that, but they were just stuck in the tag team hell. Literally, they were stuck in tag team.
Yeah,
Wasn't
when
it?
they
It was
went to
another.
when
It
WWE
was
bought them
Chuck
out and they took
Palumbo's
them
tag partner,
contracts.
wasn't it?
You said what, Tyler?
It was Chuck Palumbo's tag partner. When I keep forgetting his name.
Sean Stasiak.
Sean O'Hare.
Sean O'Hare. There we go. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's his
Them
name.
four
'Cause he
niggas
had
look
that-
like they could have been them niggas on by appearance. Like they look like if a white dude was to make a created wrestler and just give him random move sets of just how we make our created niggas, that's how a white created wrestler would look. Was them four niggas, G. It's
Yeah.
big, swole, steroid looking, who were doing high flying moves, jumping off turnbuckles, doing swanton bombs and backflips and shit.
Especially
them.
Sean O'Hare, bro.
Sean
O'Hare
O'Hare
was like
literally
6'5",
was doing
the
swanton
coldest
bombs,
swanton I've ever seen.
His swanton bomb was probably better than Jeff Hart's. I'll give him that. But the Natural Born Thrillers, they were cold though. They were cold at point, especially when Kevin Nash was fucking with them. But
Yeah.
but you could tell they were supposed to be the next big thing, but it was just they were stuck in tag team hell. They didn't even do nothing with them besides tag team matches. And then they tried to do something the last 2 weeks with them, and then just at that point it was too late. It was way too late. The fact that Chuck Palumbo was the only one to do anything amongst the four of significance when they got to WWE sucks. Because Chuck Palumbo at least was stuck with Billy and Chuck. When you think about that, but
And that was hilarious.
successful.
That's something we're going to have to talk
That was
about
successful.
at one point, too.
That was successful. All them other
It was
niggas gotta
hilarious,
hold
though.
that. But still, it was a really cringy
They tried
time.
with Jindrak, though.
They tried.
They
but
tried.
They tried.
They
but
tried with that
Triple
Undertaker
H didn't
feud,
like
and
him.
it just wasn't working.
Triple H didn't like him. That was the problem. Triple H did not like that.
Oh, yeah, because he was supposed to be, originally
supposed to be Batista.
Batista spot
He
for
was supposed
Evolution.
to be Batista, but yeah, but yeah, it was rather unfortunate. But that like them niggas is just like you could tell they were up and coming, just failed. Goldberg looked unmotivated. Kevin Nash was just there for a check. Sting was fighting Vampiro, my nigga. Sting was fighting Vampiro. I hope you should understand that, G. He had a thing with Vampiro and the Great Moolah. Who are them niggas, G?
Vampiro, I remember he had
Tally about the
some
cat.
moments, but
Tally about the cat. You about the cat, bro. Vampiro wasn't shit.
nah, it's like he didn't have a bad character. It's just he wasn't really. They didn't at that point. They didn't give a damn about the character. That's
They
the point.
didn't. So, and then also the midst of this was also when Vince Russo was writing in stupid shit as well. But you can also tell they were missing people. DDP wasn't around. Buff Bagwell wasn't around as well. So you could just tell just people were missing. So yeah. So then you fast forward. So it was just funny because they were building up Booker T and Scott Steiner as be the top heel and top face. Booker T was beating everybody. Booker T was opening up shows. He was being protected as much as possible. Scott Steiner in the process of this was whooping people's asses, and he was the star of the show. This is why I think I remember I was a Scott Steiner fan as a kid. Because that nigga was just pulling up, beating niggas' asses, and making horrible promos that were really also very fun. And he also said a lot of borderline racist shit, especially about Booker T. He told that man, Booker T, I don't know where your mama is, but I hope she's out there trying to find your daddy or something like that. And I was like, nigga, what? Yes. And then just how he would mock how Booker T would talk. I think he said your book of urban literature or something like that. I forgot. I was like, gee. Scott Steiner was just saying shit. And I was like, why? Why?
It's also another reason why Scott Steiner just didn't make it into the modern era because they just wanted to allow him to say certain stuff that he wasn't going to go.
That too, but it was just Scott Steiner just said some of the most outrageous stuff on mic, but also the fact he just threatened on a weekly basis to whoop niggas' asses with a pipe and shove it up their ass weekly. Quality entertaining television. Like Scott Steiner was more of a star to me than Booker T was around this time. Just seeing him get built up. I know it's a hot take, but it was just Scott Steiner when he was on TV and he talked.
No, that's
I
not
listened.
I wouldn't even say it's a hot take because you kind of need. That's the type of heel you need to help build up a face like that.
That's true as well.
So that was a good
helped.
parent.
It was a good help, and then, but yeah. So
now if they would have tried to do it sooner, then it probably would have helped.
It wouldn't have worked
because it was entertaining as hell.
Yeah, it wouldn't have worked. So when Scott Steiner and Booker T finally fought, which I think was at Halloween Havoc, which is what I say y'all should have watched. The fact that that man beat Booker T to the point where literally Stevie Ray had to throw a white towel to stop the match, and Scott Steiner was mad that he threw the towel because he didn't win the belt, was hilarious as hell. Super hilarious. And I think at that next week, that's when they literally built Scott Steiner up. He retired Goldberg, and he got Sting out the way. I think before the next pay-per-view, Scott Steiner won the belt, and that nigga went on one of the most craziest runs ever because he proceeded to beat Kevin Nash ass. He proceeded to beat somebody else's ass. No, he beat no. That's when he fought Sid Vicious, and the leg injury happened.
Yeah, the leg explosion.
The fact that them niggas turned that into a storyline where Scott Steiner said that nigga, he's the reason why his leg exploded because he ran into my chest and his leg couldn't handle it. I was like, bro, this is some of the best TV I ever seen in my best and worst TV I ever seen in my life. Also, WWE's bogus. They censored the pay-per-view where that happened, but they will show the replays on Nitro. That makes no sense. How you gonna censor the injury itself, but you show it on replays? I don't get that. That makes no sense. So yeah, but the Scott Steiner era was hilarious. Ric Flair came back to be the CEO. I think each of those nights Ric Flair was on TV, he was probably drunk. I'm gonna be very serious. I wouldn't be surprised he was drunk. He was just rambling. Speaking of rambling,
you know what?
Go ahead.
That actually reminds me. So you know when Flair came back to be the CEO, he basically he shared part of that ownership that Vince McMahon ended up getting. So that's probably why he ended up. That's where they kind of took that and was like, okay. At the end of 2001, when they did the whole I'm announcing, he came out and announced that he's their partners and everything. That's where that came from, I believe.
That's probably why, but still, that nigga was drunk. It's like he was Ric Flair, but I think that nigga was just rambling and just drunk. Especially like once he turned heel, and all of that. And even then, just the fact that it kind of took away from Scott Steiner because it became more of a Ric Flair focused show. Once the fact that they written off Kevin Nash and Goldberg, it was just like, yo, so you telling me the only faces is, at one point it was Kevin Nash as the face. Okay. They brought DDP back and Kevin Nash were the faces. Okay. Kevin Nash gets written off. So DDP's the only face. You bring Booker T back. It's 3 weeks left, by the way. We're fucked. But in the midst of that, there was a 2-week point where it was just DDP. And I think the second biggest faces in the company at that point, if I recall correctly, was probably the Filthy Animals, which was Rey Mysterio, Conan, and Billy Kidman. And that's off the top of my head. If not, it was probably Ernest the Cat Miller. And he was the commissioner. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I want you guys to sit down and process this. And we're probably in the last month where I'm talking about now. So, I want y'all to sit down and think about the fact that literally the show was built around Scott Steiner, drunk Ric Flair, and whatever faces he ain't written off yet in their group of lackeys. Hilarious in itself. Also, to go fast rewind just a little bit, when Scott Steiner beat Kevin Nash, His brother interfered, Rick Steiner. He elbowed Kevin Nash in the head. Scott Steiner got the pin. Match was over. He didn't put him in a recliner. He got elbowed and he lost. Bogus as hell. But anyway, so literally the final weeks, it was just, you can tell WCW knew some shit was happening because they kept mentioning on broadcast, we're under new ownership. We're under new ownership. They just didn't know who. Then the final week before, I think, yeah. So they had the pay-per-view and where Steiner fought DDP. They said, hey, Eric Bischoff's going to be on the next episode of Nitro. I was like, okay. That's when Bischoff said he was planning to buy Nitro, trying to buy WCW. He just needed time. Going into that next week, that same week, WCW was bought by WWE, which is hilarious as hell. But they also said that next week was the final episode of Nitro. I did some research into that because I was like, I'm just curious. They said Bischoff was working with a group that was going to buy WCW off Turner because they just got bought by AOL. By the way, if you think that's ancient, AOL in 2000 was huge. So they got bought out. They didn't give a damn about wrestling. They were trying to turn TNT around, pretty much. Because I don't even think they even gave a damn about the NBA was dang near off Turner at that time too. So Bischoff was trying to buy it. I guess Vince McMahon bought it, got the money faster, and from what I heard, I think it was just barely a little over $1 million that he got WCW for that Friday, which was hilarious. Then they were like, I think Bischoff said he was mad as hell about supposedly because it was just like just for how much it got sold for. So then that's when we enter the last week of Nitro, and when I tell you that the fact that Booker T won the belt from Steiner to become, I think, 4-time. And he was also the undisputed champ because he was the U.S. champ as well. In the midst of this, that was the opening match, I believe. Because the show opened with Vince McMahon popping up saying what he did. He got WCW in the palm of his hand, that promo. Or if you remember it, you remember it. And then Ric Flair comes out, talks, and says he wants to challenge Sting one last time. Cool. In the midst of that, for the rest of the show, Kevin Nash didn't come back. Hulk Hogan didn't come back. Goldberg didn't come back. So you telling me the only other major star of WCW to pop up and make a return that night was Sting? That just showed how much them niggas gave a fuck. I think. Especially Hogan and Goldberg and Nash at that point. Especially Goldberg, because he wasn't on TV.
Like, cool, I don't have to get beat up every week and I could just collect the check.
Goldberg wasn't on TV for like 2-3 months. But he was mentioned every week. He was still getting Goldberg chants. He wasn't there.
He was getting paid to sit at home.
Really was. So it was just hilarious. But also the fact that Booker T and Steiner opened up was hilarious. Sean Stasiak had a match that night. Just the match card in itself was horrible. Horrible. But in the end, am I going to sit there and say, do I recommend anybody to do what I did? Fuck no. Don't do that shit. I was just curious, and it took me 2 months to do it, primarily because Tyler didn't pay Vince McMahon, but it be that way sometimes. But
it reminds me, Friday,
make sure you pay Vince McMahon, because Takeover is this week. But literally, do I recommend anybody do this shit ever again? Please don't. Please don't. If you just want to see bad wrestling, in terms of just storylines and just see like, oh man, damn, this person was on TV featured heavily, hey, be my guest. But that shit was probably one of the toughest things I ever had to endure in my life. And I don't plan to ever do shit like this ever again. So if you want me to watch ECW,
a lot of funny clips out of it though.
It was definitely a lot of funny clips, but they all feature Scott Steiner. Like, I have a more respect for Scott Steiner than I ever did in my life now. But point is, WCW in those last probably 2 years was horrible, probably. Horrible TV. Primarily because you let Jeff Jarrett be a staple of television as well. So, that's that. Uh, and once again, that's don't ever do this shit ever again, people. Don't do what I did. If you do, I respect you, but me, never doing that shit ever again. But let's go ahead and move on. Unless Daytro, you have any questions?
Heck no. I ain't gonna cat, man. Y'all WCW talk almost put me out, bro. That sound like hell. Shit.
Hey man, I
Just
gave you
killed
niggas
me.
content.
Yeah, when
G.
them tire tears coming down.
Hey man, but let's go ahead and talk about what's been going on in wrestling this past like recently, because we haven't talked about it in recent memory. Raw, pretty much, I think so. Drew McIntyre has the belt again. Of course, he has the belt. They look for somebody new for him to fight. 2 weeks ago, they did since Team Raw swept Team SmackDown. Everybody wanted to get a title shot. Braun Strowman got suspended because he headbutted Adam Pearce. I almost forgot dude's name. Headbutted a grown ass man, got suspended. So of course he's knocked out the picture. Adam Pearce decides to say, hey, we're gonna have a triple threat match to dictate, but first you niggas gotta qualify. Bobby Lashley and Keith Lee was slapped. I know it sounds out of the picture because Bobby Lashley's name was mentioned, but it was a really good freaking match. Shout out to Keith Lee for carrying Bobby Lashley to a good match. Matt Riddle versus
Sheamus.
Sheamus was really good, but we've seen him fight for SmackDown countless times. Really good match. AJ versus Randy was decent. I had a feeling AJ was going to win solely because Randy Orton got a thing with the Fiend right now. But shout out to AJ and Randy for having a decent match. Shout out to Randy Orton for actually not being an asshole and telling AJ to suck his gut in and drop that match. So shout out to that. We got a triple threat match this past week on Raw. Slapped. Really fun match. Shout out to AJ for winning because I knew AJ was going to win. So we got AJ and Drew going into TLC, which I think is 2-3 weeks from now. So thoughts on that whole little scenario?
The right
I
man won every single match.
You said what?
That's my thoughts. The right man won every single match.
Pretty much.
Every single one.
Pretty much.
Too early for Keith Lee. Matt Riddle still got heat with the fans. Give it to AJ Styles.
In the company, I think. I don't know.
What'd you say?
I said, and also with certain superstars, but I think most of them is SmackDown anyway. So, but yeah, I agree. Like Matt Riddle's not safe yet. Keith Lee probably winning the Royal Rumble. So, but yeah, I'm cool with AJ and Drew because it's the safe bet right now. And plus, from what I can tell, like Matt Riddle and Bobby Lashley's about to have a thing going into TLC, so that'll be interesting. Extra's probably gonna be mad. Simple fact that Bobby Lashley probably still gonna go over Matt Riddle, but it be that way sometimes. Right now in the women's title scene, Asuka really doesn't have nobody to fight.
She's been in tag team turmoil matches for like the last month.
Asuka really has nobody to fight because technically the two people who she could be fighting for the belt are the women's tag team champions. So they put her in a scene with the women's tag team champions where she's helping Lana out. And I respect it because it's the best way to keep Asuka on TV and relevant as a champion because she is helping Lana out. But it also helps the women's tag team championships because they need something to do. So it's cool, I guess. It's just really unfortunate they have nobody for her to fight right now. Because the two people who she should be fighting have gold that they gotta not even defend.
And then one of them is still down in NXT. So she could have been fought Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley is probably coming up soon, but Big Bad Charlotte Flair is probably on the return really soon. So Collision Course.
Please, no.
You don't think so yet?
Giving Charlotte Flair the belt from
Tommy.
Asuka is so fucking lazily, bro.
It is late. I'm not saying that she's taking the belt, but I'm just saying in terms of for Asuka to fight somebody for that belt. Because she has
Just call her Rhea Ripley at the War Game. I don't even know if she's fighting in War Games. Just call her Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley do
Rhea
something
Ripley
at
is
TLC.
fighting in the War Game. She said
Fight at
she's
the
part
Rumble.
of Shotzi Blackheart's team.
Well, wait till after War Games. Have her interfere with Oscar. Oscar take, Shorty to Oscar. Where every win by nefarious means. Blah 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 blase blase. I don't know who the fuck she go against at Mania, but Mania Shayna Baszler or some shit. I don't know.
I'm saying it's probably gonna be
Well, I think
Charlotte, but
around
let's
Mania
see.
season we'll have a better idea of what's going on. I think right now their their focus as far as the women's division is more so on SmackDown right now. I think SmackDown is more exciting considering who they have, as well as consider
SmackDown
who
is
they lost
extremely
because there's
well
still
established.
some names
Yeah,
that they could have kept, over on SmackDown for them. But right now, I think they're in a good spot.
yeah. But we'll get to SmackDown shortly. What else is going on? Oh yeah, New Day and Hurt Business is still going on. They've been having some really good tag team matches though, so I'm not mad at it. So shout out to those matches. Also, once again, shout out to Xavier Woods, getting the G4 gig, Prosper Black King. But I really like what's going on with New Day and Hurt Business though. It's been good matches. And
Has
also,
anybody else noticed how? Not to cut you off, but
oh yeah,
anybody else notice how? I think this is gonna be the part of New Day's run where Xavier Woods gets a little bit more shine, which is well deserved as well. I think this is his chance to get more of a prominent. He's player one and Kofi's player two right now.
Yeah, Kofi old as shit.
yeah, Kofi almost 40. So for him, it's
Yeah,
like
Kofi old as shit.
yeah. So for Kofi, it's like shoot, like I did all I can do, and like I just want you niggas get y'all shine. Like y'all help me out, I'm helping y'all out. So it makes the most like I ain't mad at it. And plus Xavier's the best talker between them two. So it's like I'm not Kofi knows like what I'm about to do is say baby every other time. Like no, even though I did like the promo this past week on Raw, I think was it this week or last week, where the Hurt Business said, "Hey, we want a rematch," and New Day was like, "No, we beat y'all, man. We good." That was hilarious. Like it was pretty hilarious because it's just like, look, but at the same time, who else is there for you niggas to fight right now? Because next thing we're gonna talk about retribution.
Man,
Ass cheeks. Niggas is ass.
I'm giving them until maybe after Mania season to get something together
Nah,
for them. If it's not,
nah,
and
you being
probably
too
not even
generous.
then. I think if
That's
it's
too
not
much.
something, if they don't go into Mania with a decent match, they're probably breaking them up sometime next year,
They
or
gonna
at
get
least they
broken up,
should.
but the problem is them niggas is ass, and it's not Mustafa Ali's fault
The
at
problem
all.
is, is how they. The problem is how they got him, man. Mustafa Ali is his character is good.
Yeah, that's why I
I
say he cool.
think what's the white dude name? Not Slapjack.
Who,
Which white dude?
Dijakovic?
T Bar. Yeah,
T-Bar.
Dijakovic. There you go. Dijakovic is good. Shit, Slapjack is good. But the way Dio Madden and Maya Yim act, these are not fucking scary movie characters. These are not zombies. Why the fuck Maya Yim got fleas? It makes no sense.
I didn't realize she had
I think they
fleas.
need another well-established star inside of that. I feel so bad for Dio Madden, but he probably one of the biggest that's ever gonna get over. And I like him, but just that acting is so ass, man.
Yeah,
Um, but they probably need another well-established star, an NXT guy that's probably like, that you could say his name, but I'm part of Retribution, or like say for instance, Sami Zayn came over to Raw, he could be like, I'm here to take over WWE with Retribution. A star like that who could
I
easily
would
do
have
it.
hoped. I would have hoped. Samoa Joe would have came back. That he would have been a part of the group if he could just stay healthy, because he would have been
Samoa
good.
Joe done, bro.
yeah.
Enjoy commentary Joe.
Exactly. I'm cool with it.
I mean, it's cool with him on commentary, but just Samoa Joe. I think as far as his character would have fit into that group.
He can still manage him. I think that's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I
could,
think
but
possible for him to manage them. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I like to see it.
Yeah, so I'm interested in
But
seeing
I
where it
they're
definitely
just
like to
goes.
not
see it.
going nowhere
Yeah, it's
fast right
just,
now. Not to say
especially
they
after
need to
me and Yim
fast track them
lost.
or anything.
Yeah, after me and Yim lost this week, I was just like, what are you niggas trying to do at this point? Like, I'm confused. And when Slapjack lost to Ricochet, but that the interference made sense, but I'm just confused. I need to figure out what the hell they want to do. Let's move on to SmackDown. Look like we're about to get Bianca Belair versus Bayley, which I'm totally for. That sound like that's going to slap.
Perfect.
And it's like I said, it's a perfect way for one to keep Bayley away from Sasha until Lord knows when, and also a good way to help build up Bianca Belair for potentially winning the Rumble. Because I don't see nobody a hot name possibly being in that case, unless once again Big Bad Charlotte Flair comes back. But so I'm for
They
what's
won it
going
2 years
on.
in a row, bro.
Once again, Big Bad Charlotte Flair. They don't care. Shove her down Mug's throats. Um, and then I know Sasha and Carmella's heating up as well. So that's been cool. And Sami Zayn, who's he been fucking with?
He just. I was just thinking about. He just had a match with Daniel Bryan. That's
There
his
we go.
latest match.
I think those two about to
Yeah,
have something going
them.
on till TLC.
But I don't know. I don't think Daniel Bryan. I think Daniel Bryan feud with Roman at the Rumble. So I don't think they're gonna. Because it's Roman KO, and then because KO is a filler feud right now,
Yeah, I know,
and
which
then
is perfectly fine.
Roman
Like
probably Bryan at Rumble.
it could be. It's either I
We
think
might get Sammy versus Big E at TLC. The way they kind of
Big
teased it.
E, yeah, there you go, Tyler. There you go. His Big E. So I think they had a confrontation backstage.
yeah they did because
Yeah.
he said you haven't had a title shot since you haven't had an IC run and it's forgettable and you haven't had one in years. I was like, he ain't telling no lies. So yeah, I think that's what's going on. There we go. But I know he did have a good match against Daniel Bryan, which once again those two in the
Now
ring slapper.
Jay may end up facing Daniel Bryan again
I could see that happening. But
because he was the reason that he technically got counted out of that match
yeah,
because he
because
super kicked him
Jay was
backstage.
whooping everybody ass on Team SmackDown, which I don't blame him for doing. It be that way sometimes. You niggas got sweat. You embarrassed me in the family. But it's just funny how consistently, even though Jay is honoring the fact Roman is the head of the table, Roman's still hoeing that nigga. It is hilarious as hell at this point. But I ain't mad at it. It's still some of the best work. Roman is literally the show, and I'm for it. So, like, he giving them bars, but also seeing what Kevin Owens did to that man Jey Uso was hilarious as hell. Like, I'm a big Kevin Owens fan, so just seeing him go back to face version of heel Owens is perfectly fine with me. Like, that's A1 TV, so I'm cool. But Roman and KO, that's gonna slap for TLC or however long they plan to do it. Who knows? But yeah, anything they need to be added.
No, this is they
I
both divisions
think the
tag team.
Street Profits is. I think the Street Profits is
got
losing their belts.
Dolph this time around. Street Profits messing around with Dolph and what's that boy name? His best friend.
Bobby Roode.
Robert Roode.
Robert. I forgot it's not Bobby.
Bobby Roode.
Robert.
It's still Bobby in some capacity. Shit. So it's still the same. So Street Profits going on with that, but they're not gonna lose them belts anytime soon now, especially after they beat the New Day. So they're kind of bulletproof right now.
Who else is it? Does SmackDown have a tag division?
Neither show has a tag division.
Because it's literally 4 teams. That's it.
It's 4 major
Sheamus
teams.
and Cesaro hasn't even showed up in
Shinsuke and Cesaro. Shinsuke and Cesaro probably.
Yeah, Shinsuke and Cesaro.
Yeah, neither side has a legit tag team division right now. It's just 2 teams being highly showcased, and then you got the Viking Raiders are still out because one of them
Yeah, one of them had a bad
Yeah,
shoulder
one of them
injury.
had a freaking nasty nerve injury, and on SmackDown side of things, nobody's over there in terms of in terms of tag team wise, because Jimmy is still out. He's probably not going to be back until close to Mania.
Too.
And then so yeah, so like both tag team divisions is ass. So
You
now
broke up heavy machinery for no fucking reason. Now that Otis is getting buried.
exactly, because I don't even think Otis was on TV this past week. So keep that in
And what
mind.
I tell y'all about that nigga Tucker, folks, we haven't heard of Tucker. So what I tell y'all, I know Marty Jannetty when I see one.
I know Marty Jannetty when I see that man Tucker has been on TV since, and then literally I haven't seen Otis in 2 weeks. So, wait, honestly, he wasn't even on TV this past week because I don't think Jey Uso touched him.
The Otis run is over with, man.
Look, both of them got Marty Jannetty to me at this point. G, they both got Marty Jannetty, and also on SmackDown you got the Mysterios versus Baron Corbin. Yeah, it just Baron Corbin just had to find. Baron Corbin had to find somebody to be a heel towards.
Until Roman says, "I want to get you guys up out of here. I don't want this family near my family." So
if Roman challenged them to a family, I just need the family, and also for this feud, I need Vin Diesel as Dom Toretto to special guest referee every match,
bro.
Because it's about family, G. It's about family. So I need, and as long as it leads to Roman retiring Rey Mysterio, perfect.
I just need Roman to do his patented I'm beating the hell out of Rey Mysterio moving slap that nigga out the ring. Literally, every time Roman fights Rey Mysterio, he grabs Rey Mysterio and just slap the nigga out the ring. Every single time.
I need Roman to choke him. I need Roman
to
choke
him
Ray
and Dominic
at the same time. G. Like how he does that little guillotine choke. If he does both at the same time, we have to crown Roman GOAT. It's easy.
You think Rey Mysterio could stand up from that guillotine?
Like not by himself, he would
not with the current knees he has. Hell no, you got a valid point, G. That's a 280-pound man.
My knee and I'm falling to sleep.
He said, "Dominic, hold on, man. My knee is going out." But yeah,
Aaliyah gonna throw in the towel.
Dog, I would cry. I would cry. But yeah, we need the Rey Mysterio versus the Samoan family feud, G. If we get that leading up, I don't mean it as a Mania match, but like that ugly time after Mania, after the Royal Rumble, I need that, G. I need that.
Yeah, that Fastlane and Elimination Chamber season.
Yeah. I'm cool. But I think that's it. NXT really don't got nothing going on. They preparing for War Games, and we don't even know who the full War Game roster. Just shout out to Pat McAfee and the gang versus Undisputed Era. So
I think we're getting Leon Ruff versus Gargano versus Damian Priest in a triple threat.
I'm cool with that as well.
There's three things that's guaranteed in this life: taxes, death, and that North American title being defended in a fucking triple threat match, bro.
I swear they love that, G. It's a guarantee.
We probably get Tommaso Ciampa versus what's buddy name? The dude that looked like Dean Ambrose.
I know who you talking about.
He
don't look like Dean Ambrose though. You tweaking?
He looked like current Dean Ambrose. The way his haircut and stuff is set up.
I know who you talking about, but I just can't think of dude's name because he's cool, but he's forgettable.
It's Timothy Thatcher.
There we go, Timothy Thatcher. I pretty much call him Country Kurt Angle, but
why?
Because he's literally he's just no matter of fact no, he's Chris Benoit but taller.
Okay, you call the country Kurt Angle, but that nigga's British. That's one. That's one. Oh, from the UK, wherever the fuck he's from. From and now overseas. That's one. Two, I agree with the Chris Benoit Batal shit. I agree. Nigga, he even got his teeth chipped.
Exactly. That's what I
He
said.
does.
Taller Chris
That's step
Benoit.
one to the transformation. When that nigga started doing fly headbutts off the line, if I'm just watching kids, I'm getting out.
At that point, I'm like, hey, check on that man's family real quick, man. Check that man's family expeditiously. But yeah, Ciampa Timothy Thatcher should be decent. Even though I don't know who the fuck goes over in that, but who cares? But that's 3 matches, and they'll figure out 2 more, probably 1 or 2 more, because also you got the women's war. No, that's 4 matches. They good. Yeah, so you got the women's war games, men's war games, Ciampa Thatcher, and the North American belt. Yeah, they good. Who cares?
Yeah,
But I think,
that's probably about it. Because them
yeah,
War Games matches is gonna be at least the men's matches is gonna be at least like 45 minutes.
30, 45 minutes. Yeah. So, but yeah, so just be on the lookout for Takeover. Nothing happened. Nothing of worth of interest is happened on AEW besides Omega versus Dean Ambrose in a death match. I believe it's not a Dean Ambrose match if it does involve some type of death match aspects to it. So be on the lookout. I guess I might kind of turn in just to watch that match because I'm curious to see if it's a death match or not. If it's not, respect to him for not making a death match. Cause hey, but let's go ahead and get ready to close this shit out. We appreciate you guys for listening, of course. Thank you for listening to Threes for the Ring. Appreciate it. We're close to our 100th episode, so hey, we almost there. Appreciate you guys for checking out the YouTube channel as well. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that alarm button so you also know when episodes are dropping as well. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you check out Black Otaku's video as well, where we talked about a lot of plenty fun things. But we appreciate all the support, love, and all that good stuff. Follow us on Twitter at Threes from the Ring. 3's from the Ring, 3S from the Ring on Twitter. You Tweaking Media on whatever streaming platform you are listening to us on audio as well. So we greatly appreciate it. We are everywhere. The brand is getting brolic. 30% off on merch, niggas. 30%. 30% off on merch on Teespring. Make sure you search You Tweaking Media merch and it will pop up. We got hoodies, we got t-shirts, we got face masks. Because COVID is very real, so get a goddamn face mask, and the face masks are very comfortable. So we appreciate all the support and all that good stuff. And peace.
Vita Zen.